And a very good evening, everyone. Welcome to E&D Litter Stadium for Saturday night gridiron action here in Western Australia. It is round 14 of the 2022 season and a vital game for both these teams, the Vincent City Ducks and the Claremont Jets. Both teams fighting for a spot in the four. Claremont, a win tonight would all but seal their spot in the four, but a win for Vincent City and it'll all go down to the final round. Paul Persick is my name. It's a great pleasure to have your company here on Front Row Screens, and thanks to CD Dodd, PC Play, Replenish and AS. And joining me is a man that played for both sides in the last couple of years. He's been out of action for the last couple of months with injury, but he's here in the commentary box to provide his insight. Byron Rennie. Byron, a very good evening to you. It's going to be a big game between these two sides.
Yeah, it will be, and it also comes down to a lot of other factors involved. And of course, yeah, so it's going to come down to, factors. We're hoping, well, me personally, I'm going for Ducks because that's the team I play for currently. But you know what? Jets may have it. I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't actually seen their quarterback out there. Currently, though, last game it was 20-6. So that'll be the results. Who knows? Could be a flip, could be the other way.
Well, the Jets, they do need a big win, but also the Ducks, they need a big win because back in round 11, they faced the bye as well. They were put to the sword with, they put the Broncos to the sword rather with a 20-6 victory. They had a really good offense led by Jordan Reed, who really put the defensive backs right to task as we go to the middle of the field for the coin toss. Terran Honda and also Ben Middleton, the respective captains, on the middle of E&D Litter Stadium. Ben Middleton looks like he's won the toss and determining which way they're going to go. It looks like they're going to go to the eastern end of the ground here at E&D Litter Stadium. What a great site it is, of course. For those that know a little bit about their sporting history, this was the old Velodrome site back in the 1962 Commonwealth Games, the only time that it's been held here in Perth. And what a great shot that is. Marvellous drone being used for the first time. And there is, of course, another one of the guys, Kip Crosby-Clague, who's also going to be quite a key for the Claremont Jets side. Paul Persick and Byron Rennie with you at E&D Litter Stadium. The Jets, their main task, I reckon, they've got to get Fowler out of the game. This season, he's had 59 tackles this season, so around 4 or 5 a game. He's a quick linebacker. He can change the tide of a game with his speed and creativity out of the snap. The Jets, if they can get him out of the game, then they might be in for a good win, but that's going to be a key.
I think there's a few more pieces there that will really change the tide as well, though. If you do see, say, Liam doing his assignments, he would cover it. They'll change it up. But I also know there's some new players that have come in this week in training, and hopefully the boys remember it and do their assignments. If that works out, we'll see what happens.
What about Benny G? What about Benny G?
Benny G is going to have to throw it well. Number 20 out there, if you see him, he's got to throw straight, and he's just got to hit his receivers. He's got his favourites out there, of course, so we'll see what happens.
Well, Benny G, number 20 for the Ducks, and Terran Honda, the quarterback for the Jets. They'll be leading the sides and coaching both teams. For the Jets, Michael Kerr, and for the Ducks, Phil Mullen. As we're about to get things underway, it will be the Jets to receive first. This is round 14 of the 2021-22 Gridiron West Men's League competition. Both sides desperate for a win to keep their fight for the spot in the final four alive ahead of playoffs time. Adam Fowler is going to get things underway here at E&D Litter Stadium. Go time on Saturday night gridiron action. And it's going to be fielded by 10 yards deep. Goes through one, close to the boundary, and it's going to be taken over the line. And the clock will stop to begin the first offensive drive for the Jets, as we see on the CD Dodd replay.
On returns, usually we will go towards our own team side. It's usually safer, and especially, this is actually when brawls can happen. This is actually the most common time because there's always something cheeky that happens. So you come to your side, you bring it out, you rotate your teams in quickly.
So 1st and 10 for the Jets. First defensive drive of the night. And we've already got a change for the Ducks, a late sub for the Ducks, number 75, McCosker, coming off. 1st and 10. The Jets coming out of their own 30-yard line. The pitch, it was tossed to the outside, and they'll only gain a couple there, so 2nd down. Still around 10 yards. And the Jets, a little bit of work to do in their attack.
Looks like a 1 yard gain. Every running back needs only 3 yards, though. So Just got to focus.
And that links to the point I'm going to make now. Their offense really failed to fire. They were shut out by Swan City 34-0. And defensively, they couldn't pull any of the Swans' key receivers down. So their offense really needs to fire. But a good run towards the outside. That'll give them a gain of about 1 or 2. And that'll be a 3rd down. And that run again, number 88. One of the key running backs in the competition. And for the Jets, he's going to be in for a big night.
I wonder if they're pulling him across the side, though, to give him a big open area to the left, though. You got Fletcher out in the open. So I have an inkling. They're stacking the side, 3 on the right. So I'm being to Fletcher.
They've also got Burns in there as well, number 12. They're going to go for the screen pass, but incomplete. And that will be a 3 and out. And that will leave the Jets no choice but to get rid of it. As we see on the CD Dodd replay, that screen pass, good block there by number 25, Middleton. He knew exactly where the opposing receiver was going.
Punt team in.
And that's a good start for the Ducks, forcing a 3 and out early. It'll be James Allen to punt this one away and give the Ducks first offensive drive in this game. They're out of their 30-yard line. It's plenty of hang time on it. And taken in from the 10 by Wakara. Goes to the outer side. And he just goes over the line, I reckon. But that's a good run. He gains about 30
I wonder what the flag was for, though.
As we see on the replay, thanks to CD Dodd. It was just inside the line. Maybe they had a flag for an illegal strip. But the offensive drive will still continue. And there is Wakura there on the Ducks bench. It looks as though he has done a hamstring by the looks of things. That's an early blow for the Ducks. As the Ducks begin their first offensive drive, the Jets, they weren't as effective. As I said from last week's game, in that loss to the Titans, their offense needing a little bit of work, but that 3 and out is not a good start.
No, it's not. And I think there was a block in the back, by the way, with the loss of 10 yards. Your confusion with the ball.
It is a Ducks ball after that run from Wakara. The question is it a penalty?
They already had the 10 yards taken back.
10 yards taken back. Claremont have accepted the penalty.
Run down middle.
Good handoff from Benny G to Johnson. But only a gain of about 2 yards there.
Good job, Sam. Good tackle, Sam.
And they'll take that ball from about the 28-yard line.
I know I discussed them before, but those running backs, they take a beating.
They do. You only get 3 or 4 yards for a running back, and they certainly get the job done despite taking plenty of hits.
And if you're a rugby player, you know, every club would love to have you to join their team, seriously.
Mate, I'm too skinny to join a rugby team, mate. I'm only 69, 70 kgs. But the Ducks coming out of their own 28-yard line, 2nd down. That's another good handoff towards Strands. That's Johnson, rather. And Johnson gains about 4 or 5 on the CD Dodd replay, as you see here. Sees a bit of daylight, but gets caught immediately by Rapley and Ramal.
He's got to watch his ball contain as well. He's really got to get 4 points of contact on. If he doesn't, it's easy enough for another guy to come in, get a punch on the ball, and just get it out.
3rd down and about 4 or 5 here. And the referee's blown a whistle here early by the looks of things.
So right now they're having a bit of an argument about which ball's which.
Let's hope not one of them's deflated.
Oh, deflate gate. Why not?
Ugh. They've finally figured out which ball is going to be there. Still 0-0. We've played nearly 6 minutes on the CD Dodd scoreboard. 3rd down and about 4 for the Ducks. Benny G goes for a screen pass towards the outside. Fielded by number 15 there, Palele. And that is going to be a 1st down. That's the one that they wanted to go to, an outside pass towards the right-hand side, and that's the first of the third down conversions for the Ducks. That's what they wanted.
I'll tell you straight out though, that's the pass I do, and as every good receiver will do, they will step out before getting the big hit, live to fight another day.
So it'll be 1st and 10. And that'll be coming out on just behind halfway. Couple of men in motion. Benny G fires the handoff, but the referee's blown a whistle. It looks as though there might have been a false start.
I don't see a flag on the field though. Hold up. Definitely wrong there.
As you see on the replay, it was a false start, according to the referee from the offensive end, so they'll take it back 10 yards. Rosario there, false start against Bryce Gate, the wide receiver, so he moved just a couple of seconds too early there. False starts are usually the bane of all offensive drives for any team. Benny G fires off the pass to the outside again. But they only gain half the yards. And it's taken just inside the line. Tackle being applied. Pack tackle by 2 of the Jets defence. If you're just joining us for the first time, we're live at E&D Litter Stadium here in Mount Hawthorn for round 14 of Gridiron West action. Jets up against the Vincent City Ducks. Both teams desperate for a win. If the Jets win, 4th place is all but sealed. They'll go to the playoffs. But if the Ducks win, it all goes down to the final round next week. Both teams will certainly be feeling the pressure tonight.
Oh, 100%. I know Michael Kerr told me to hide away because, unfortunately, being both sides, didn't want me to reveal any secrets.
Giving nothing away is Kerr. Screen pass towards Johnson. He's being flooded by 3 Jets defenders. A fumble. And it looked to have been recovered. No. CD dot replay. 2nd down. And a flag is on the field. It looks as though for an illegal strip.
You see, as I mentioned before though, the ball contained. He had one hand, needs to get his body around, get the second arm under. 4 points of contact, that'll stop happening. Now, not sure what the flag is for, we're about to find out.
Three on the offensive line. And that is going to take him back another 10 yards. So 2 penalties against the Ducks in the space of about 3 minutes.
Penalties kill us. Kill any team.
Absolutely.
And discipline is what, changes this. And I can tell you straight out, they're going to get yelled at halftime if they give any more out.
This drive has gone on for about 6 minutes for the Ducks.
Deep
Benny
ball.
G fires
Charlie.
it off. Deep ball pass. Almost intercepted. It is. Great pick off on the defense by the Jets. If those 2 penalties didn't hurt enough, then that interception did. First defensive intercept for the Jets, and they'll begin their 2nd offensive drive just over the 30-yard line. And isn't he pumped up, giving us the double Cobras. Simply fantastic. Great read of the offensive route, and that allowed for the defensive pickoff, and the Jets will bring their offense back onto the field for the 2nd drive of this game. When the Jets are really starting to play with fire, they know they have to bounce back after being shut out against the Titans. Pass to the outside. Intended target was Dignam, the junior who's represented Australia, hence you see the goal helmet. The intended receiver on the play, but was incomplete.
As you can see, the house is getting through. Too much pressure on him. Ooh, even got a hand to it. 52.
He did get a couple of fingers to that on the CD dot replay. The house putting plenty of pressure on Honda. Torren Honda being their first string quarterback A man in motion. Honda fakes the handoff, but immediately gets caught by 3 Ducks on the defensive end. And that'll cost the Jets a couple of more yards as we go into a 3rd down.
They're just not giving them the time. Like, his O-line is just not holding.
And that's been the problem for the last 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah. Now, whether it's the training or whether it's just that they're coming up against bigger, stronger defensive ends.
Let us know where you're watching from, viewers, wherever you may be, across the state, the nation, or around the world. Front row screens on our Facebook page, streaming live thanks to our partners, CD.PCB, Replenish and AS. Great supporters of this broadcast, and WA Sport, live from E&D Litter Stadium in Mount Hawthorn. And the Jets, looks like it might have been a little timeout here. 3rd down, long way to go. If they can convert a 3rd down, a lot of pressure.
It's 15 yards and he's not getting the time. I think they're just going to send the house again, to be honest.
They'll have to send it. They'll have to, the Ducks, if the Jets keep this offense going. Not giving Honda any backup on that offensive line. 3rd and about 15. Honda fakes the handoff, sees some daylight, goes for it, breaks through 2 tackles. Can he get the 1st down? No.
It's a fumble.
It is a fumble, and it's recovered. And it is recovered by 53, Liam Stewart, the defensive lineman. I thought for a moment Honda had that, but the carry retained for Honda. Not good enough this time, just lost it at the end. And Stewart was able to pick up the fumbles and put the Ducks in virtual range to score the first points of the night. These Ducks are playing with discipline.
Defense is doing great. Those plays are really coming in, strong so far. They're all doing the right jobs. I mean, you're right though. I thought Honda was clear. I thought he was going to go.
For the Ducks, it'll be their 2nd offensive drive, and it was set up by that man on your screen.
He's grinning too. He's happy.
Well, he certainly is, and rightfully so. The defensive lineman, Liam Stewart. He's been massive on the defensive end throughout the season. And the Ducks, they'll begin their next offensive drive just on the 30-yard line. Benny G awaiting. Fakes the handoff. He's going to go deep. It's out towards the attacking end. The intended target was Rosario, but incomplete.
Fortunately, Jake doesn't have wheels that the rest of the boys do. He's a big tight end, but unfortunately overthrown.
Look at the gap that Ardo left, but a 2-on-1 inside the end zone. Pressured Rosario enough to not get to that one on time. 14 and a bit minutes in, 2nd down and 10 on the 30-yard line. Still 0-all. It's been a real defensive affair so far in this game. But the Ducks, they are looking great to get the first score, especially after that defensive intercept by Stewart. Benny G fakes the handoff, gets the handoff to Johnson. Sidesteps 2 tackles, goes to the outside, but he's brought down. A big sling tackle there. That was Burns, who brings him down, and it will be a gain of just about 1 or 2.
They got to switch on. They really got to. I mean, me personally, I'd send hooks all the way. 10-yard hooks. Everyone step back. Rinse, repeat. Sneak, get them all biting forward, and then go a bit longer.
The Ducks have got a couple at the wide side of the ground. Karzakov is going wide. Could he be the target? He's going to fire one deep. Karzakov is the target. Almost picked, but incomplete again. And that will be a 4th down. And that's a big opportunity gone begging for the Ducks, especially since they were only 30 yards out. But the question is, you always got to have that temptation to go for it on a 4th down.
Oh, they definitely have to. They're too close. We're in the 40 yards. There's no point doing a punt. Now, saying that, though, Sixers' coverage has been actually quite good.
Yeah, Ardo, he's covered that hole in defence quite well. But as you say, you always got to go for it. It's too small a gap. You always risk that turnover on downs. Goes to the outside. And again, Palele picking off the pass. And that is a 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 this time. And it'll be just behind the 15-yard line.
So that's 3 to Charlie now. And probably going to be his favourite today. Now, of course, him and Benny G go back to Vipers together, so they've been together for a while. So they do have chemistry already, and that's something that happens between quarterback and receiver. If you have that chemistry, there's a bit of confidence that gets between you and the quarterback, and they're more likely to throw it to you.
And that confidence feeds off onto all offensive linemen and wide receivers to do the job.
Yeah.
Setting up on the 15-yard line. Benny G, handoff to Johnson. Sees some daylight, too brief, gets brought down. Only a gain of about 4. And while we're at it, we'd like to thank the clubs and Gridiron West for the opportunity to broadcast this game. Gridiron football, always a fun sport to embark on, to watch or even play during the summer. Plenty of action at every ground here in WA. So 2nd down, half the yards. Here comes Benny G, runs towards daylight. And that might have been the first score. No. So it's just a couple of yards out. It's a 1st and goal.
Was that a sneak?
It was a sneaky QB dive. So they're very close, 1st and goal.
2 running backs.
They sneak through, but the Jets defense doing their best to drag them back. And it'll be a 2nd down, 2nd and goal. The goal line defense very important for the Jets, especially since they're so deep towards the end zone. What do the Jets have to do on goal line? Because goal line defense always puts on the biggest pressure for the opposition defense.
Usually you move into man coverage. That's the biggest thing, because unfortunately there's not much room to move around. Zone coverage becomes nearly pointless. The biggest problem is the runs, especially through the A and B gap. But Jets coverage for that small zone, they can do well. So I don't think the Ducks will be doing run plays into Lust.
And another injury this time. You see number 99 for the Jets. It looks as though there's a left ankle. He's hobbling there. He's just walking with one of the trainers. So the Ducks had a bit of a blow early with a hamstring injury to Wakura. But now the Jets have got their own sort of blow. Have a look at that. What a great shot from the drone overlooking the river. Mount Hawthorn and Leaderville. Isn't that fantastic?
By far the best ground we've got in the league. By far. Like, there's nothing even close to it.
And in the best city.
Nice and central. Beautiful.
Can't ask for anything better here in the West. So 2nd and goal as we have eclipsed 20 minutes in this 1st quarter. Still 0-0. Both teams looking for their first score of the night. It is about a yard and an inch away from the end zone. Jets must go to a man-on-man. Benny G gets it off to Johnson. Has he got towards the end zone? No. No, he hasn't. The Jets defense working extra hard to try and stop the Ducks getting the first touchdown. 3rd and inches.
They got one receiver out on the left-hand side, our side of the field.
Good defense by Thomas Chadwick. We talked about the Chadwick boys pre-game. Thomas and Nicholas Chadwick, 40 and 41 respectively. They hold the keys.
Real strong tacklers. Rugby players both play high-level rugby as well, so it translates well.
3rd and inches on the goal line now. Benny G hands it off to Johnson. Did he get it to the end zone? I think he did. Touchdown. The Ducks strike first. 20 minutes into the quarter. And as we see on the CD Dodd replay, the first 6 of the night.
Now, of course, though, now the 2-point conversion comes in. And this is very important for that percentages. They need the percentages. They need that to happen.
Of course, percentage does play a key factor on the ladder because they are currently in 6th. But they are ahead on that differential, so to speak, of the Jets. And if they win that, they'll go to 4th place on the ladder tonight. But that 2-point conversion, as you said, very important.
Two running backs again.
That's what they've gone for. Benny G, outside throw, incomplete, no good. And so it'll be 6-0 in favour of the Ducks at the end of that first major drive for Vincent City, 22 minutes into the first quarter. On the CD Dodd scoreboard, it is Saturday night Gridiron West action, round 14, the 2021-22 season. Paul Persick and Byron Rennie with you. What really impressed you the most about that big drive for the Ducks? There was a lot of positives that came their way.
Honestly, it's the change to the 2 running backs. And then you always have one guy driving forward and the other guy pushing him forward as well. Usually you have it swapped around, though. You have a big boy leading forward and you have a speedy guy behind. Swaps up now and then, though, changes the strategy around. I personally would have been doing some more throws, but that's just my personal opinion on this. Charlie seems to be open out on the sideline a lot. That's his favourite receiver. I'll be throwing him more.
Charlie so far has really made a big impact as a key target as they get the kickoff. Back to the Jets. It's fielded on the 9 by Chadwick. Finds some daylight on the outside. Goes towards the 20, but he's brought down. No, he isn't. He kept going. Chadwick, he's on a flyer. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown. No, there's a flag.
But unfortunately what happened there is another one of the Jets grabbed one of the Ducks players by the shoulder pads. Fortunately, that's blocking the back. And his beautiful run, which, by the way, he was clear, completely ruined it for them.
Comes to nothing, and that's a real gut-wrencher for the Jets. I must say, I was enjoying Chadwick's run there. That could have been a big reply.
You see him open up there at the 30?
Yeah, plenty of space.
So much speed.
When the Ducks defence are really going to have to put in a better effort to try and catch this guy, because as you said, he is very quick on his feet. When he's got the ball in his hand, he's hard to stop. Referee right on the spot to make the call. As you mentioned, Byron, an illegal grab of the shoulders, obviously, which you're not allowed to do even in a kickoff play. And that sees the Jets' fine reply come to nothing. Chadwick's touchdown eradicated. But the Jets, they'll begin this drive.
I'd love to hear what Kerr's saying to his player right now, though.
Michael Kerr, the coach of the Jets. Next offensive drive for the Jets. It'll be on the 38. First down. 6-0 in favour of Vincent City. Honda goes for it long out towards Fry and picks it nicely. And that gives the Jets a really big chance to respond against the Ducks run. Oh no, that's 16 rather, James Allen.
Yeah, I was about to say, Fry's out. He unfortunately has a fractured tibia, so he is not in the game, which is detrimental to the Jets because he is a good player and usually plays both ways.
What they call a swingman.
Yeah.
Plays both ends very well. This is a big chance for the Jets. It's on the 12. They trail 6-0. We've played 25 minutes. Honda. He's going to go to the right-hand side this time. Intended target was Dignam, but incomplete. Dignam, like Chadwick, he's very quick on his feet for a junior. He's very nimble as well on the offensive end.
I've tried to do coverage on him. Have to give him an extra 5 yards, stepping backwards. Then he just does an in route and because they're audible out of it.
If you give him an extra 5 yards, I reckon that could be an even bigger mistake because he still has good pace.
Yeah, but 5 yards for me, good enough. But a lot of defensive backs, corners, won't be even enough. Some people even line up at 10.
2nd and 12. Honda, short pass to the right-hand side, a little dish. But the intended receiver immediately brought down by Fowler and Strands. And that is a loss of about 2. How about that? That is a bird's eye view if you've ever seen one.
That's beautiful.
E&D Litter Stadium, the drone in just about everything.
Now, I'd hate to be on the end of that running back. He actually just one-hand palmed him down. That amount of strength there is insane. And again, well, I'll never be a running back. Timeout called. I've noticed now they've been getting a bit more time for Honda. It's just an extra second, but the extra second is enough.
That extra time equals that extra space for Honda to go for that long pass towards the end zone. A timeout being called. This is the second of the quarter. And that not only giving Honda a little more time on offense to go for the long throw, it also gives his running backs and offensive linemen a chance to go for those handoffs.
I'm not seeing an option for the short pass, though, which is kind of really concerning. If you've only got long and you've only got a handoff, there's a real problem because you can't cover it all.
Who's that perfect short target for Honda in the event that he goes for one?
Honestly, it'd be a wide receiver doing a quick slant. That would be the ultimate thing for him. Honda's number 13. And if he does do it, I reckon maybe if the other option would be Fletcher on out route, 5-yard out route. But otherwise, I'm not seeing it.
3rd down and 15. Honda goes to the outer side. It's intended for 17. Duckland, touchdown, Jets. Buckland gets the response that they were after. You talk about the long option. That's where they went to. Alexander Buckland, pressured by the defense, and a terrific catch on the end zone to level the scores.
The problem is, though, there is a lot of air on that ball. Number 14, all he has to do is get his head around. If he sees that ball, he was actually in front. He had coverage. Just all he had to do was get his head around. That is the major problem, and that's what happens all the time with cornerbacks and DBs. They forget to get their head around. It's that 1%ers.
Let us know where you're watching from. Brady Lee, shout out to you, watching from the nation's capital in Canberra. As a 2-point attempt goes up. Dignam, 2-pointer is good. Honda got plenty of daylight there to go for the inside pass. Dignam backs up his good work. It's now 8-6.
Nick Chadwick, give him all the opportunities, put him in the right position. They've done the rest of the work for him.
Can they keep up this run? 8-6 at the 29-minute mark on the CD Dot scoreboard. The lights are on. It's completely dark here at E&D Litter Stadium on this Saturday night, where Perth hit a peak of 42.5 degrees. What was an absolute summer scorcher. It's cooled down. And lucky for you, Byron, it will cool down till about 23 on Monday.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm missing winter. I really am. I wish this was more of an autumn sport, to be honest. Also, luckily as well, so the rules have changed in the last few years. The juniors games get cancelled if they're over about 35 degrees. It's all about safety.
Absolutely.
We've seen some people collapse on the field from it. And back in when I started, this games would be played at 2 p.m. on Saturdays. They were insane to be played then.
Especially in those conditions when, the mercury's pretty high and the temperature overall is pretty high. As you said, anything above 35 degrees, forget about it.
But we'll play it, though. I'll play it. I played both ways the entire time. Didn't leave the field. You get a real dry mouth when that happens.
Torren Honda there on your screen. He's really lifted in this late stage of the first quarter as the Jets will kick it off. And it is an absolute beauty towards the end zone. Building it from about a yard. Breaks through one tackle. Close to the line and taken over. In a good tackle.
That's
That
Scott.
was Scotty Collins. And that was just ahead of the 20-yard line there. And the Ducks, they'll begin their next offensive drive to see if they can pick it back just before quarter time.
Ducks coach there. Brought in some new players last week.
And some very good additions too, brought in by Phil Mullen. And Phil Mullen, what a softly spoken coach, but he's always very hard-edged when it comes to making the plays.
Yeah, and it was funny enough. I'm used to coaches printing out stuff before the game, not before game, before training. He came out with a giant board. It was massive. It was great to see.
1st and 10. Benny G. Outside handoff. Johnson sees daylight, goes over the line, but he elected to take the yards. Good call from Johnson. But there's a player down, unbeknownst to us. He must have fell quite hard here. One of the Jets players. That's 54. That's Douglas Hartnell. Just struggling to get back on his feet there.
Hate to say it, Dougie gets injured a few times.
He's been prone to that. Absolutely. Couldn't catch a break when it comes to injuries.
I've played with him since he started the sport, and I can tell you straight out, every season he's gone injured. Kind of like me.
Doesn't have the best run of luck, unfortunately. But he'll get himself onto the bench, dust himself off, and hopefully he'll be back out. But was walking only slightly gingerly to the bench.
I think he'll put some tape on, he'll be okay. But we'll see what happens. He did his ankle recently, so... Maybe just a winding, though. I'm just questioning, do we have another call going on?
I think it might have been another timeout.
That'll just be injury time then.
Yeah, injury time for 54. The 1st down for the Ducks. Just behind the 40. Benny G. Deep pass. Intended target was Kazakov, but incomplete.
Kazakov, I believe in his 2nd season. Up against the Saints, he had the highest stats for receiving yards. A big target.
And we've got a bit of a substitute. Rosario coming off. And number 6 coming on. As a late offensive change. There's Jared Bennett's another one of the offensive linemen who will look to create space for his wide receivers and running backs in these plays. He did it quite well when Benny G was making those in and out handoffs to Sir Johnson. So watch out for Big Bennett's number 60. 2nd down. Bakes the handoff. That's a Dang. Breaks through one. Goes for the spin, but gets bundled down. And that'll be a gain of about 8. And it'll be a 3rd down. It'll be a 3rd and 2 by the looks of it. 3rd and 2.
Well, that's easy doable. Well, in theory. And that looks like quarter time.
I think it is. Yes, it is quarter time. And after 1 quarter, it has been quite a closely fought contest between the Ducks and the Jets. It is 8-6 in favour of the Jets here at E&D Litter Stadium. Here at E&D Litter Stadium on Saturday night, Gridiron West action. Both teams will change ends. Very even Steven first quarter, you could say, Byron. The Jets, they struggled on the offensive end. They couldn't give enough time for Honda. But the Ducks, they played the defensive game so well. They got their tackles in. But then the momentum swung around in the Jets' favour when Honda and Dignam got some time.
Yeah. And honestly, I think also that timeout gave them the opportunity to adjust what they were doing, to fix those little gaps they were having. Now, of course, now the Ducks' opportunity to change what they're doing, fix it up, and hopefully charge through and get another score on the board.
What would the Ducks need to fix up defensively, especially after giving away that last touchdown?
Defensively, it would be the corners. Need to get a bit better on their head getting around coverage. But if anything, it's going to be the quarterback to receivers getting that ball to them. Unfortunately, it's been overthrown a fair amount. And that becomes a problem. That's timing between the receiver, whether they're getting held up by the corner, and that's throwing them off.
3rd down as we begin the 2nd quarter here at E&D Litter Stadium, and not big of a gain there. The clock will start to run as the 2nd quarter is underway, and that will be a 1st down for
Chains moving.
They get a change of ends each quarter. 8-6 on the CD Dodd scoreboard. Saturday night, Gridiron West action. Both teams desperate for a win. If Claremont win, 4th spot is all but sealed. If the Ducks win, well, their hopes of a Final Four berth are still alive. Benny G, almost picked off. Throw to the outside. And that is Palele. He gets taken over the line, but converts for another first down. The tackle being made by number 24 for the Jets.
Continues being the favourite of Benny G. If anything, I'd say that's his first option every single read, at least 90% of the time. Eventually, the safety will cheat over to him because he keeps seeing it thrown there, and then he'll have an opportunity to throw to this side of the field. But until that happens, well, he's just going to have to read the situation.
Ball will be on the 24.
Single running back.
Looking to throw to the outside. Here's Benny G, but that one way off. And that is incomplete. And they'll go for a second down. Intended target was Kazakov, but just over his head.
Unfortunately, though, he also was in double coverage, so that probably wasn't the right choice. But I wasn't looking at the other options, so I couldn't say.
Great backdrop of the city of Perth, the best city in the country on this Saturday night. Now there'll be great atmosphere there, as it is here at E&D Litter Stadium. 2 minutes into the second quarter, Jets lead at 8-6 in this crucial clash in round 14 of Gridiron West for the men's 2021-22. As Benny G throws to the outside, that is costly, intercepted, and that is Scotty Collins. So that's 2 intercepts that the Ducks have conceded this game, and that gives the Jets a chance for their first offensive drive, but they're deep in their defensive end from 10 yards.
Yeah, but this gives them some funky plays they can do. They've got everything they can do now. They can do some sweeps, change it up. All they got to do is not get driven back into their end zone.
But what possessed Benny G to go for that throw when clearly his intended target had double coverage?
I don't know. It's his favourites. This is the problem with quarterbacks sometimes. They have their favourites and they go for them. But it also might have been the play, but that was a big overthrow. That wasn't just a small overthrow. That was a big overthrow.
It's a massive one.
And that comes down to practice as well.
So the Jets are going to come out of their own 9-yard line. Question is, especially since they're deep on their end zone, they need to give Honda as much time as they can. Quick throw, intercepted. That's another one. Picked off by Middleton. Touchdown, Ducks.
There's a pick six, and he's going to love that.
Wow. That is not what you need, not what you needed if you were the Jets. To concede it right away on first down, deep on your end zone. Middleton was there for the pickings, and it puts the Ducks back in front.
Ben Middleton will be real happy about that. He's going to come off with a big smile and probably a new highlight reel too.
Well, as if his highlight reel is not growing enough, that's another item for them.
Here's a crucial point though, they need these 2 points. They have one opportunity to get it. I do wish we could go for field goals in this league. I do wish we had these goals. That would be amazing. Would also give us another positional that we could play. And another strategy. If you're 20 yards out in 4th and long, definitely want to go for those. And guarantee the 1 point would be better too.
An extra point would certainly be good, but 2 is better than 1. 2-point conversion attempt coming up. Whoa!
Ball was high.
That snap was a bit of a shocker as Benny G fields that one. My goodness, that snap got plenty of height. And as a result, the 2-point attempt no good. So 12-8 in favour of the Ducks. Coming off that defensive pickoff from Ben Middleton.
The brilliant play. Brilliant play.
It's fantastic from Middleton. Read the play very well. He knew Honda's intentions. Throwing to the outside. That was a high fly, but that fly was quickly caught by Middleton. And he was able to take it to the end zone for a touchdown and put the Ducks back in front. 5 minutes into this second quarter. Thanks to CD Dodd. Adam Fowler will put this one in the air and give the Jets the ball.
With that play they had before though, with Chadwick burning him, I honestly would be doing a shorter kick. Get to someone else that's going to make less of an impact.
And that remains to be seen. What are they going to do? Are they going to try and squib it or look for the onside kick? Low line drive towards the 15. Fielded by Burns. Hands it off. And now going for a run is Chadwick. He's putting on the turbo, but quickly gets curtailed by Rosario. And they'll take it on around the 24-yard line. And for the Jets to begin their next drive.
Jake coming in for the push out. The right move. Very glad he did it, because otherwise those wheels would have opened up and he had a clear lane. I find blocking on kickoff is kind of a hard skill as well, because you don't have eyes in the back of your head. That's the problem. Let's see if the offense can have the time still for Honda to throw.
They go for the handoff to Dignam. It's not often Honda's gone for the inside handoff this time, but only a loss of a couple there.
Yeah, the motion was good. Unfortunately, though, he cut up too early. Probably could come out and wrapped around more. The running back as well could have done a bit of a block, but it's hard to read that one.
Well, timing is key, especially when you're going for the inside handoff. Honda goes for it again. Times it a bit better, but they only gain 2. As the play is brought down by Targar Cowley. Zachary Carton is also prime tackle. 3rd down. There's a 3rd down and 10.
Fun fact about Zach, he's been playing seniors since he was 16, 17. He was a big boy when he was younger, and he decided he's going to step up when he was playing for Blitz. I would rather get hit by a lot of other players than him when it came to training.
He's a hard hitter. 3rd down. Honda goes high. And it's caught by Allen, but he didn't get it inside. So it is a 3 and out for the Jets, and they will punt it away. It's a 4th down. It looks like they're keeping their offense on the field. Oh no, Honda's having a bit of a run. It looks as though they hesitated for a bit there, but they're electing to go for the punt after all. 3 and out, forcing the Jets to punt it away. High kick towards the defensive end. Pignam's looking to recover it. One of them's wanting to pick it up. Who wants it? But Carton grabs it in with the one hand, and it'll be on the Ducks' own 10.
That's a long drive for BG to get. Haven't been able to make that so far. But we'll see what happens. Honestly, though, with that kick, if you got the block on Fletcher, the results might have been a lot different there. It might have been I get at least 30 more yards.
Might put some pressure on the Ducks, too, to go for the throw that Honda did, and may lead to a Jets defensive pickoff.
That's the problem. High balls, easy to catch. That's a DB's dream, especially if he gets his head around.
One change being made for the Ducks. Kazakov, he's briefly going to the sidelines to have himself a spell. 12-8 here at E&D Littus Stadium in Mount Hawthorn. It's a gorgeous Saturday night. We've got the big screen out. We've got the whole shebang-a-bang for this Saturday night. We certainly hope you're enjoying the coverage. Benny G, inside handoff to Johnson. Saw some daylight, but only brief. And he's brought down only a gain of 1.
Still seeing that problem with ball contain.
That's a key for any offensive running play.
Hopefully it won't happen. And there's beautiful Perth still.
Oh, under lights, you can't do much better than that. Simply fantastic. City of Perth there. Gorgeous backdrop. You can't do any better than that on a Saturday night here on the West. The 2nd down and 10. Benny G is going to go for the outside throw. Did he get it on the 2nd attempt? No! Absolutely butchered it.
Fortunately, that's what happens with a chest mark. You have a plate on, and unfortunately it bounces off. It isn't football, and it's a football habit that so many players still do to this day. We teach diamond hands, hands up front, and usually it works out, but not all the time.
Well, dare I say it, maybe the diamond hands could have come into effect on that last play. Nonetheless, third down, they wouldn't want to risk a 3 and out themselves because that could put the Jets in range to score a 6-pointer.
Especially with Chadwick returning it.
Johnson taking the risk. This time it pays off and a third down conversion. That's where Johnson wanted to go. Benny G rather wanted to go. Because as he said earlier, the quarterback always has his favourite target, but not an alternate if he continues to get single or double coverage.
Exactly. And as someone that rarely gets double coverage, I know what happens though when you do come up against a good DB. The ball will never come to you. And you always get frustrated as well. So when that ball does come to you, you better be catching it.
Otherwise, there's going to be a little bit of trouble. Or a lot. The first down and 10 for the Ducks. Another long offensive drive that's coming their way. Can they put it onto the scoreboard and further this advantage? Almost picked off. Oh, he's quite annoyed with himself, and rightfully so. That was a big opportunity at the expense of Kazakov.
I don't think Kazakov is a target right now. I think he's in his own head. But 63 definitely had an opportunity for an intercept there.
It's being encouraged there by Burns. Maybe next play. Good to see them backing each other to the man. So 2nd and 10. They've not had a 3rd and out themselves, the Ducks, so if they are to risk a 3rd and out, be at such a crucial stage in the game when they've got some momentum their way, they're leading it on the scoreboard, they wouldn't want to waste it on a 3 and out, which they've not conceded in this game. Benny G, outside throw, and it could not be completed. Just had an attack at the fumbles at the last second, and it'll be a 3rd and down. Take a look at this on the CD Dodd replay from the bird's eye view.
Fortunately, their hands went to it. Just happens sometimes.
There was a bit of single coverage in there as well for number 16, and that put a little bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, press coverage was the play for the Jets just then. So man on man. Man on man, if you're versing a stronger guy, unfortunately they can outmuscle you and get thrown off your route. Then that throws the quarterback out and timing's out. Makes things a lot harder.
Ducks have got one wide in this formation. Johnson, again, he's going to go to 16. Will this one pay off? Yes! Makes the catch, and another 3rd down conversion.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful catch there. Having to dive for it. One of those hard catches, and honestly, oh, he's coming off for a spell now.
And I think it's a well-earned spell. He's worked very hard to make those yards count, and getting a high five there from his trainers and Phil Mullen, the head coach. So it'll be 1st and 10 over the halfway mark of E&D Litters Stadium. Whistle sounded. And a timeout has been called as the Jets defense tries to regroup.
Now, here's the thing. He was covered. But as we can see, he is Benny G's favorite target right now. And because of that, he's getting it to him. He knows the timing between each other. And that's how it's going to go. He's going to continue to throw there. We'll see now and then. We'll see it come onto other players. But I'm 100% certain at least 50% of his passes will be going to Charlie for the rest of this game.
Well, Charlie, number 16, no wonder he's Benny G's prime target. He's made 2 very good catches on the left-hand side of the field so far in this game. And that proves that theory absolutely correct. Now, the Jets, they need to regroup on the defensive end because they've conceded 2 long passes, each of them converting back onto 1st down.
Yeah. And maybe it's the manning, maybe it's just the play, that the call they're doing, but they can cover it. The people are there, again, just getting their heads around. That is a big thing corners aren't doing. Also, you see Dougie's back out on the field, so obviously it was just a winding and a bit of tape.
Douglas Hartnell, number 54. For our viewers who are tuning in for the first time, great shot by the drone, bird's eye view of the field. 12-8, the Vincent City Ducks lead at 15 minutes into the 2nd quarter on the CD Dodd scoreboard. This is Saturday night Gridiron West action in round 14, a crucial game for both these sides in their fight for 4th spot and a playoff berth.
Deep ball again.
Benny G avoiding the sack. Almost intercept. Long pass. Going nowhere. And it'll be a 2nd down. And there's another Jets player that is out of it. And he's up very quickly. It must have been just a slight winding. Or maybe a little bit more. That's 57, Sebastian Rapley.
Looks like he's down. Ankle?
Might be an ankle or a knee, but that is no good at all. In the hands of the trainers, and he's grimacing with pain.
Something we're taught, though, is if you're injured, you go down. You must stay down. A lot of people try to get up and injure themselves even more. So you stay down, trainer checks it out, you're all good. Or if you're not good, you know, they're going to get some people to probably help them get off the field. Yep, 2 big boys coming out to check, help.
Got to stay down. And there's also Kip Crosby-Clague. Might have been a bit winded there. But there, Sebastian Rapley, he's going off. It looks as though there is a serious ankle injury for him. And he's getting a round of applause from his teammates and a good section of the crowd here tonight. And Rapley will come off and have treatment for this injury time. Another blow for the Jets. Not only they had Hartnell briefly out, obviously had the wind knocked out of him, but this a lot more serious. Rapley looks as though there is a left ankle, and looks like he'll take no further part in the game, but we will keep you updated. 2nd down. Outside throw. Kazakov, I should say, makes the catch, but only gains half the yards.
And he has walked off. I think he's done his ankle.
Oh, spate of ankle injuries at the moment. He again is down on his haunches. That's a big blow for the Ducks if that is the case, because he's been one of their most valued wide receivers this season. And yeah, he is very gingerly putting that ankle on the ground. And as you said, Byron, he's walking off. Looks like he's done for the night.
It's either that or his calf, because calf, because he's done that before. Did that against the Saints. He's been out a few games since then.
Still a big blow, as one of their primary wide receivers is gone. Benny G avoids the sacks. He's going for a dash on the outside. Oh, breaks through one tackle, but couldn't break through the second. That is smart from Benny G. Went for the sneak and dashes past the defensive line. And that takes Vincent City past the 20 and a big chance to add to the scoreboard.
People forget he's a big boy. He's actually lost a bit of weight since the last 2 seasons, and he's gotten a lot more mobile. He's, you know, getting his prime, past his prime, way past it, but still, he is trucking people. And again, as you can see just there, he pushed through someone else and got another 3-4 yards because of it.
Very smart play from Benny G.
People say he can't move, but proven otherwise.
Absolutely. So it's just in front of the 20. Big chance for the Ducks to extend their advantage. Benny G, long throw to the outside. Charlie's the main target, but incomplete. And it'll be a 2nd down and 10, just ahead of the 20.
Seeing that double coverage on him now, though. It's a constant now.
That's what the Jets have to do now. If he's been their prime target all throughout the game, the Jets should be smart enough to know that they've got to double cover him. If they don't double cover him, then he's going to be catching balls left, right and centre. What will the Ducks do? They've gone for throws a lot during this game.
That's Benny G's specialty there. And Ducks don't have the strongest running back game. Bryce out there with Charlie.
Benny G, he's going for the throw. This time, dang, close to the line. Breaks through 1, breaks through 2, couldn't get through the 3rd. And he is caught over the line. And it is just ahead of the 10. And that'll be another 3rd down. It'll be a 3rd down. Just behind the line.
No.
Oh no, it's a first down.
First down, and defense actually had a penalty against them, but it's been declined. Which is the right move. 5 yards, 4 attempts. Should be easy enough.
Well, easier said than done.
1.2 meters, well, yards to get there. I personally like the odds.
The Ducks have really got the edge over the Jets at the moment, and the way they've been maintaining the ball carry on their offensive drive. It's really been their quarter as far as that's concerned. Benny G hands it off to Johnson. Barges through the pack. Does he get there? Yes! Touchdown, Ducks! And they further extend their advantage, and a nice little celebratory jig there from Sir Johnson.
He's lucky to get flagged there for over-celebrating, though. It's actually happened in this league before, and hope it doesn't happen again.
Well, the case of maybe Hingle McCringleberry, the famous comedian player played by Key and Peele. But how about that?
Yeah, 2 running backs came through. Same barge through as always. Worked great.
And now, Vincent City are going to look for the 2-point conversion to extend that advantage by 12. 2-12, rather, at the 21-minute mark, the second quarter.
O-line check between each other.
Benny G, inside handoff. Johnson goes in. 2-pointer is good. And the advantage extended to 12, 20-8 in favour of the Vincent City Ducks. The way they've been scoring in this second quarter, that's going to be good for their percentage.
They really are capitalising on their momentum right now, which is the important part. If they don't do it, though, if they don't continue on and get that lead they need, I mean, they still need over 8 points right now. At least 8 points.
Certainly looking like they're going to get it the way their offense has been going, but you've also got to be backed up by a defence as well, and they've done that incredibly well, despite conceding a defensive pick-off earlier in the game.
What I'd love to see, though, is an onside kick. Most teams don't do it, apart from the Wolverines. Every single kickoff, they'll do an onside kick. Why? Percentages-wise, they actually recover the ball about half the time. I'd rather do that.
The Ducks about to put this one in the air to give the Jets a chance. What are they going to do? Will Byron's theory be proved right? Not this time. It's another high drive towards the 10, fielded by Chadwick. Now in his last run, he went all the way, but his touchdown did not count due to a penalty. This time he's not going to go very far, just behind the 30. 23 minutes into this second quarter, first down and 10.
Fortunately, he needs those lanes, he needs those blockers. And that was a lot of airtime this time. So that gave them the opportunity to get down, block him out, unable to get the lanes, and fortunately his guys couldn't get the blocks on for long enough. Fortunately, blocking someone is a hard task, especially if they're quicker, faster, and unfortunately have a run-up.
Now, if Chadwick, next time he gets that kickoff, they've got to have that blockers. He's got to have those blockers really doing the hard work here, because it wasn't enough.
If anything, they probably need the second line to be back further so they can actually have the channel ready to go.
First and 10 for the Jets. They trail it by 12. Honda goes to the outside, out towards Allen, makes the catch. But just short of that 10 yards required. And it'll be a second down and 1.
Ben Milton getting the tackle.
And they gave Honda enough time. That's been the Jets' main issue on offense, is that they haven't been giving Honda enough time on a consistent basis to make those throws to the outside. This time they did, and Allen was the prime target. And a good catch too by James Allen.
Nice short pass. Perfect.
Honda, is he intending for Allen again? He does. Double coverage and incomplete.
Again, Milton a bit upset there. He could possibly had an interception again.
We're nearing the 25-minute mark of this second quarter. If you're just joining us for the first time, second quarter has belonged to Vincent City. 2 touchdowns. Middleton and Johnson scoring his second a few minutes ago. And it is 20-8. The only touchdown being scored by the Jets was Nicholas Dingham. And that brought them within 2 points.
Fortunately, Chadwick's one got called back. Plenty of time again. Dump off to the left.
Burns was the intended target. He did get it, but didn't gain a lot. I don't think he went past the 10-yard line required. No, he didn't. And that is a fourth down.
The question is, will they go for it?
Well, they are only around 3 yards behind. It's always that temptation when you're around 2 or 3 yards short. You've got to go for it, but you always risk turning the ball over and conceding prime territory.
Statistically speaking, though, going for it is a better option because you're not giving them ball. That's my personal opinion. I would rather always go for it. And
that's what they're going to do. Oh, they are hounding Honda very quickly. They didn't give him enough time. Honda's been sacked. Turnover on downs.
Unfortunately, Unfortunately, there's a flag. They jumped early.
Yes. It was a flag. 31 jumped early. Strands well picked up. The flag was thrown. And this will give the Jets another opportunity. First down this time as a result. So a little reprieve for the Jets.
I know, Ducks got to hold their water. When that ball is snapped, you've got to watch that ball. You shouldn't be watching anything else until that ball moves. Then you move. They sent the house. The good part is, though, they actually didn't stop moving. Because it's a very important thing to keep moving. Because otherwise, Jets can get free play.
They could have gotten a free window there, courtesy of Honda. Referees just making sure everything's all set. First down and 10. Honda throws to the inside. Intended there for Buckland, but to no avail. Incomplete.
I think he panicked there.
At the last second.
If you're in the linebacker territory, I know straight out. You panic, you think you're going to get hit, but you know what? You're going to get hit anyway. Catch the ball, contain it, go down.
Embrace yourself, embrace the bump, ride the bump.
And if you pull out of a bump, you probably get hurt. If you engage into it, you actually come off better. At least most of the time.
Byron Rennie and Paul Persick with you at E&D Litters Stadium. It is a second down. Honda to the inside, intended for Dignam, but incomplete.
Possible
and a third down.
Real possible interception again. They're going begging right now.
Had about 4 attempts in this second quarter, have the Ducks for an intercept. Third and down. Jets risking a second third and out. And of course, obviously, they were reprieved by that false start from the Ducks' defense. Honda has got all the time in the world. Throws to the outside. Allen makes the catch, but immediately gets caught by 2 Ducks defenders. One of them there, Ben Middleton.
Number 13 actually should have continued to engage when he did, but he didn't. That was the problem there.
And that is the first down.
Now they're running no huddle now.
They've been given the hurry up.
Because the clock's running out, so they're running no huddle.
Hurry up treatment might pay off. Honda on the outside to Burns. Breaks through 2, breaks through 3. He goes towards the 20. But he's brought down. That's a good run from Burns. He, like the Chadwick boys, very quick on his feet.
Now the reason they did the hurry up is because the clock is running. Now unfortunately, they're probably in the last minutes of this quarter right now. And because they're doing the hurry up is because they need to essentially get it out, get the clock stopping, and then they can make another play. As soon as that ball goes out, clock stops, continues forward. Even though our clock is still going, the clock of the refs are recording the time right now. It's only 12 and a half minute halves, quarters. Okay, timeout's been called.
Timeout has been called. And this could be a very vital one for the Jets in the context of this quarter. They could come out with a play with a couple of wide receivers setting up and maybe looking for the long throw towards the end zone. You always got to take that risk when you're calling a timeout late in the quarter and try and go for hero.
My prediction right now, trips left, so there'll be 3 wide receivers out on the left, and there will be at least 1 receiver going across to the far right end of the end zone. That's my prediction.
That's a big prediction, but you're the expert here, and I'm just the play-by-play.
Most likely a post route, but who knows right now? There's plenty of room on that side.
Will they go 3 to the left? That's the big question. Or will they go with only 2? Jets breaking free from their timeout. Crucial timeout it is in the context of this game for both sides. It is a first down. It's on the 22. Can the Jets trim the margin down before halftime? Honda. He's going to throw to the outside. Dignam makes the catch, but he gets dragged down. But a very good gain indeed by about 8 or 9 yards.
Every time I see him catch it, I see him bend. He never breaks though.
Never expect a player like Dingham to break.
It's a youth. It's a youth thing. Must be.
And that is, by the looks of things, referee's called offside. From what I heard by the ref, it was offside, but it's a second down. And that's against the defence, and they've been brought forward a couple of yards.
Ooh, that's rough.
It'll be a 2nd and 3. Big chance for the Jets.
They're in scoring range. One throw.
Well, they've got 2 out wide and 2 to the right as well. Honda tries to sneak through, looks for some daylight, but gets brought down. And it'll be a 3rd down. As we're 31 minutes into the second quarter.
As you see the hurry up again.
They've hurried up. They've got 2 wide receivers to the left. Honda goes to the one on the right, intended for Buckland, but incomplete.
He's hugging his calf. Wonder what's going on.
And he's running off the pain. So they're huddling up here. The Jets, what can they muster here? Good bird's eye view courtesy of our special drone. Now, what do you see for the Ducks here? What are they going to try and do?
I am not sure right now with this play. They are going off the plays. They're going deep. They're covering deep, including the wide receiver coverage is quite deep.
And it's paid off because Honda's pass intended for Dingham, incomplete.
Zone coverage, doing it right now.
A matter of miscommunication, and that is a turnover on downs. And that'll give the Ducks offense a chance to have a little breathing space for themselves.
Now, unfortunately, though, there's not much time, so I'm predicting deep balls, quick plays, and maybe even no huddle.
I wouldn't want to be too ambitious, though. They've got a 12-point cushion. It is late in the second quarter, you are right, but they've got that 12-point cushion. They can rest on that on half-time and try and build on that ascendancy in the second half.
I'd rather score right now if I was them. Get that 6 points up, more cushion, but we'll see what happens.
Having said that, you do risk a defensive pickoff.
Of course, of course. And Fletcher's just running back out in the field just then. They nearly had 10 on the field.
And Dingham's on a defensive line as well.
Ooh, and a strong run play.
Inside handoff to Johnson. And gains about 8 or 9.
Ducks are probably going to be using up all their timeouts now during this entire drive. Stopping the clock and just giving them the time to get down there. They've probably got all their timeouts, actually. Jets have been using theirs, but I have not seen many Duck timeouts. I don't think I've seen one yet.
No, this is the first one. This is the first one of the second quarter for the Ducks. And an important one at that. Referees deliberating on the situation of the game. They've done a great job so far this game, as they have done all season.
Refs always get a rough rep when you think something, for example, I got held a few times, didn't get called, but then later on, the call got happened and gave us an advantage. It's a hard job, and being a zebra is real hard. I'm glad I'm not doing it.
Definitely one of the hardest jobs in gridiron, or any sport for that matter, in an official's capacity. As Benny G throws it wide to Charlie, makes the catch in spite of double coverage. And another first down, second down conversion, and he's quite happy with it.
Also, tackled out, clock stops, they're good to go again.
That's the good tactic. That's the good tactic that the Ducks want to use. Throw to the outside, get your wide receiver close to the line, make the catch, stop the clock. A crucial play coming up for the Ducks. The ball is on the 30.
Still a long way to go.
They want to go for that high ball to try and increase their advantage, as you said.
They can go for it now, but only, from my perspective, only on the left side.
They've got Rosario out wide and also Gate out wide. But is he going to go on the right-hand side? Benny G. Deep ball long. Defensive pickoff. It's another one for Burns. But he gets taken to the end zone. And that's a chance gone begging for the Ducks, but a big one for the Jets. Nico Burns, rather. with a great intercept. And another player's down for the Jets in the midst of the action. That is 88. He must have had the wind knocked out of him on that one, or it could be a leg.
We'll find out soon.
And there, Burns taking off the helmet. A great defensive pick-off on the end zone. He was faced with double coverage, but he got himself into prime position, played in front of one of the opposition, and was able to take a fine defensive grab and pick the play off. And it looks as though it's a right ankle or a knee for number 88.
Pretty sure that's Cheney, is it?
Cheney, you could be right. But that is not good for the Jets at all.
He's a strong player. Makes an impact, and unfortunately, when you lose those linemen, just gives the offense that extra few seconds.
And that injury time will finish off. And you can see him grimacing with pain there. He's a strong man, but my goodness, that is going to be a lot of pain.
If I'm not mistaken, Scotty Collins is out there at quarterback.
Well, they have changed up. Scotty Collins in for Honda. Their second string quarterback, 1st and 10 on the 20. And they take a knee.
They're kneeling out the quarter.
Don't want to take the risk. It's half-time. Half-time in this round 14 game. The Ducks have got the ascendancy. After 36 and a bit minutes of the second quarter, they lead at 20-8 here at E&D Litter Stadium on this Saturday night. It's round 14 of Gridiron West action here on Front Row Screen Sport. Paul Persick and Byron Reddy with you.
Fortunately, 2 scores going begging, both each side. You know, that Chadwick sprint that was clear open, and of course the intercept right there. Both could change the tides of the game.
Well, that could have given the Ducks an even bigger advantage, that last play and the pass that was picked off by Burns.
Unfortunately, though, you know, quarterback didn't get the ball far enough, or the receiver wasn't in the best position. Both are factors in the situation. Both will blame each other a lot of the time. So unfortunately, you know, we just go for it.
And both teams certainly will in the second half. We're going to go to a break. It is half-time here at E&D Litter Stadium as the Dogs run onto the field. 20-8 in favour of the Vincent City Ducks. We'll be back right after this. Half-time here at E&D Litter Stadium. Round 14, Gridiron West 2021-22. It is the Ducks leading 20-8. It was 8-6 at quarter time. And the Ducks have got a nice little bit of ascendancy going on early on in this game. Paul Persick and Byron Reddy with you in the commentary box on this Saturday night. Byron, very even in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, the Ducks they really played it on their terms, especially on the offensive end.
Oh, 100%. Pass game was strong. Run game was actually strong too. You notice though, you only saw 2 running backs come out when they went into at least the 30 yards to go. That was a big thing happening there. And that's part of the strategy of Ducks. They bring the pass game in. They've got all the room to gallop. 4 receivers out there. A lot of options for Benny G. It's really good. Now, that running back, single back, doesn't seem to work in that small yards. But that last 30 works brilliantly. Of course, some flags really causing some small issues there, especially on Ducks' side, giving away the 5 yards, which put the Jets in scoring range. They didn't convert, but that's what happens. Of course, Midget as well with a conversion, pick 6 and score.
Those third down conversions were very crucial for the Ducks. They were able to get themselves out of it through some long fly passes, especially with the likes of Benny G firing, Sir Johnson getting those inside handoffs as well. He's really contributed to the Ducks' success in this game.
I still see Charlie as the absolute MVP of the receivers right now. He's making the difference. He's the target for Benny G, and he is going to be targeted the entire time for this next 2 quarters.
Kazakov got a bit of attention during the first and second quarters as well, but wasn't as effective.
Never made it to him. I'm pretty sure the cornerback is getting a nice block at him, throwing the timing off for Benny G, and unfortunately because of that 1 or 2 steps that you can't get down the field, it's really affecting him.
What about the Jets' defence? They had a lot of double coverage on some of their key receivers, but they still are letting a few gaps they're letting a few gaps be exposed on their defensive end, and that's giving guys like Charlie and, of course, Kazakov and the other running backs for the offense for the Ducks really get away from them.
Unfortunately, that is something that happens. You have zone coverage or man coverage. Either one, it's going to be hard. I prefer zone coverage. You can cover a lot more. Gives a pick 6, which is more viable, but also kind of struggles with the running back a bit more. Man coverage stops running back a bit more, but if a receiver gets loose, which can happen, you're relying on the safety to cover that extra person if they get loose.
Slow-mo footage of the first half. CD highlights of that first half of the game. Vincent City leading the Jets 20-8. 2 touchdowns to none for the Ducks. They were able to get that advantage. They've got the ascendancy with this game. They were able to play that man-on-man coverage on defence very well. And they were able to also get themselves going on the offensive end. Scotty Collins on the field as we speak. He's their second-string quarterback for the Jets, so it looks like he's going to get a bit of a run to start the second half. Well,
he was the starter last year for the Thunderbirds, which was the Jets and Blitz combo. As I said at the start of the game before this, I thought he would be the starter. That's my personal opinion. But he's getting his opportunity now. He always wants to be a starter. He loves being quarterback. He plays all around the field though, and he's a versatile player, so it's good that he's actually getting to play quarterback now.
What did you make of Honda as a starter in that first half?
He airs the ball too much. His short game was great, but his long passes, there is a lot of air. And with air comes opportunity. And with opportunity, all they have to do, the cornerbacks, the DBs, they just have to get their head around. And with the head around, they can get the chance of intercepting.
But having said that, he didn't get a lot of time from his blockers, especially with the Ducks' defence really getting across to him.
No, the guards are giving up a lot, and his running back is not actually blocking that well either. That is a problem. He may even scramble. We didn't see him scrambling, and that's may have actually been more effective against the lineup that the Ducks are pushing. Their defense is just pushing hard and fast, and they're creating the gaps. There's a play that they're doing, and they're hitting the center, who's the ball snapper. 2 players are hitting there. Unfortunately, the other boys are biting, trying to help, and that creates gaps for the linebackers to skip through, and it's causing issues.
What do they do to have to? What do they have to improve on? To really get back into this game. It's only 2 touchdowns in it, but 2 touchdowns is a really big margin when you're looking at the bigger picture.
Honestly, it's just assignments, and maybe some motions. Honestly, a handoff motion might be right, or at least a fake, because unfortunately, he's not going to have much time. But a motion handoff may give him the opportunity.
The Ducks, what about them? They've got the momentum going their way. They've been consistent. They've been consistently firing on the offense. Obviously, Benny G has got one prime target, but if he continues to get double coverage and get those passes picked off or incomplete, who does he go to?
I honestly think he just needs some shorter options. That's all it needs to be. He hasn't been doing that many short passes though. Benny G loves his long passes. I love long passes. Why? It's glory, it's golden, and you get touchdowns quicker.
What about the running game as well? That really needs to fire, although Johnson has gotten a burst of about 3 or 4 yards on each running play.
Unfortunately though, it's not 3 or 4 yards every play. It looks like it, but it's actually only 1 or 2 because he's starting behind, and those 3 or 4 yards really end up being 1, and that's the unfortunate fact. The Jets have a really good interior. They are good. I know they're good. It's, being shown right now. Unfortunately, when there's 2 running backs, they're not holding it as well. Now, if they change up their formation just a little bit, honestly, I'd be going 2 safeties too high. But they've only got 1 safety high, which gives them less opportunity to stop those passes, which is the problem. Running back isn't the problem. They've got the running back covered. Like, they're only getting 2 guys to the running back. It is not a squad tackle, but they only need to get 2 there. Also, running back's containment of the ball isn't good enough yet. Watching that one-arm run, that is prime for a fist to come through with a tackle, so someone's holding the guy up, come through, just hit the ball off. Happens all the time, and we watched that happen on the sideline here where the ball got fumbled, but went out and he got real lucky. Now, we'll see what happens next, in the next quarters, but hopefully both will pick up their game. Honestly, I'm looking for a Chadwick run at the back, because if on kickoff, kick return, when you're doing kickoff, I would be avoiding Chadwick. I would be going for the sideline and hoping it rolls out and lose those few yards from the kick.
Well, if you want to try and take on Chadwick, then it's often a hard task because Nicholas Chadwick, who scored that touchdown that did not count, he is very quick on his feet. That run was very impressive. Only unfortunate thing, the flag came up.
Yeah, unfortunate, but it was one of his players, and I'd love to see who it is because if that was a costly thing for them. They did convert in the end, but it was costly, and unfortunately, they could do better. Those silly plays are what can call it.
Now, we're going to go to a break, but when we do come back from the break, we'll have all the third quarter action. It is the Ducks leading 20-8 over the Jets here at E&D Litter Stadium on Saturday night. Gridiron West action on Front Row Screen Sport. Don't go anywhere.
At CD Dodd, we recycle metal. So we recycled some 90s metal musicians to create our new jingle. cddodd.com.au.
What a beautiful backdrop of Western Australia, the capital Perth. We're in Mount Hawthorn, just near Leederville. E&D Litter Stadium on this Saturday night. It is round 14, the 2021-2022 Gridiron West competition. The Ducks leading the Jets 20-8 as we're about to begin the second half. Paul Persick and Byron Reddy with you in the commentary box. It's going to be a big second half, Byron, but you mentioned about our second string quarterback for the Jets, Scott Collins. He's got a couple of more options compared to Honda, who relied on that one sole target in that first half. So it could present a new opportunity for the Jets. And we're just getting word Honda, he's out for the second half. He's going to spend the second half on the sidelines.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, Scott was the quarterback last season for the Jets, which was Thunderbirds. He has other options. Fletcher is a favourite of his, though. All last season, a lot of the balls went to Fletcher. He is a favourite, and this may change his play style as well. Unfortunately, when we watched the first quarter, the play style is different routes, up seam, stuff like that. There might be more outs this time. I would be doing more outs as well, though. You do, unfortunately, as a quarterback, look out the field, and you do see 25 of the Ducks. You see that, and you do not throw to that a lot of the time. That is a common thing to happen in this league. Ben Milton has a presence on the field, and I know quarterbacks will avoid throwing to his area because he's such a threat. Now, will that happen this time? We don't know. Will Fletcher be open? Will Chadwick be getting the ball, with a nice speedy run? Unfortunately, he doesn't open up fast enough, though, all the time. He jogs out. So, I mean, as we saw when we came down, he jogged out most of the way and then opened up at the very end when he was open field. He needs to open up earlier. When he comes out, he needs to burn out real quick and then have his head turn around, look for the ball.
You talked about Middleton's presence as a defensive back. He really was a threat in that first half. I mean, he's very valuable to the Ducks team. The way he was able to cover those key wide receivers of the Jets really put the Jets to the sword in that first half.
Yeah. And he is an Australian outback representative. Now, he's number 25, and he pushes hard. I swear, I've never been hit by someone harder in this entire league. He is the hardest hitting guy, in my personal opinion. Now, he pulls out on hits a lot of the time. He used to, and I mean, this is the last few years, pull out and just, he would go in all out and he would want to hurt someone. Now it's changed. But funny enough, he used to be a quarterback. He was the quarterback for the Steelers. He took them to a bunch of championships. And he's just changed. And he's gone back. He's like, no, I want to be cornerback, I want to be safety. I just like to hit people now. That's it. He doesn't like to get hit, just likes to hit people.
He's just taken to the defensive end like butter and bread.
Oh, he's brilliant at it. Now, the other thing is, though, he's actually the second-string quarterback for the Ducks. And when Benji isn't here, he's the quarterback. He has a good arm still. It is a missile. And he's jarred many of my fingers on many occasions.
And that's a reminder of how good their depth is on the offensive end. And it still boggles my mind why they're in a fight for fourth place. Really, given how strong they are on paper, they should really be in the top three.
Oh, when it comes down to it, there are certain things that happen in certain games, especially early on. This is essentially an amalgamation of a bunch of different teams. You got some Viper players there, some Blitz players that have gone there. It's all different players merging together. And unfortunately, you have to learn to work together. Things don't mesh straight away. If it did, that would be perfect. But we are not pro athletes here, unfortunately. We try our best, we do our best, but then you have rookies coming into the league, and they don't pick up the sport. Well, some people don't pick up the sport that well. Rugby players, when you put them in a linebacker position and you tell them what to do, they are the perfect defensive position because they know how to tackle. But receivers take time to train. You take time between you and the quarterback to get your timings right and learn. Doesn't matter how good the quarterback is, it will take a season for you and the other person to get perfect together. Then there's learning trick plays and other things together. Then, of course, the O-line has to work well together. If a guard is not blocking well, or, let's say a tight end is doing the wrong assignment, things can go wrong. If a running back is missing the block on a pass play, or, unfortunately, not containing the ball, which happened against the Wolves. There was many fumbles, and that was a draw game. That game should have been a win to the Ducks, in my personal opinion only. There was many times they're approaching the 10-yard, 5 yards, and there was a fumble, and the fumble got recovered by the Wolves. It's a problem. It happens.
Well, it remains to be seen if it is still going to be a problem in the second half. As we're about to get things underway, it'll be the Ducks that will receive it first. And there's Douglas Hartnell signalling to a couple of his teammates where to be.
5 on each side, and then the kicker.
20-8 is the Ducks' lead. Round 14 rolling on in Gridiron West 2021-22. Bit of a slight delay. Ball being put on the cone. It's going to be Burns who will put this one in the air for the Ducks to have first use on offense. And that kickoff is an absolute beauty. And it's going to be fielded from 9 yards deep. Couple of hits off the play. This is a brilliant run, but brought down on the 40.
That was a brilliant run. 33 back in.
Yes,
so
Wakura.
Injury isn't that bad then. That's good.
Now, only a little tweak in the hammy, but it's good to see Wakara back on the field to begin that first run. And that is just on the 40.
Love to see a foot race between him and Chadwick, though.
Oh.
They both seem quick.
Oh,
I would love to know which one's faster, because before this game, I would say Chadwick, but now I'm not that sure.
It's a bit like Cyril Rioli and Lewis Jetta on the MCG, a nice foot sprint.
Nice little, put a reward at the end, get everyone to send one player from each team and see who's the fastest. And we can have who has the fastest player on their team. And then
that could be something for the end of the season.
Why not? They do that in football, don't they?
They do. Grand final sprint every year. We're lucky to have it here at Optus Stadium, but nonetheless, 1st and 10. Inside handoff. Johnson goes through 2, breaks through another, but is unable to get through the double coverage there. But it is a 1st and 10. The clock stops. That is a good run from Sir Johnson.
Probably his best run of the night.
We gained about 25. And that is a good start for the Ducks. They're continuing on their momentum.
I'm wondering if that loss of Cheney is really affecting the Jets, though.
Well, Cheney, a big part of that Jets defence in that first half. He really got their defence firing. And the referee signalling their pushback.
No, Jets calling timeout.
Timeout. Timeout being called. And that's an early one for the Jets.
I know. They must be changing their strategy, though, because unfortunately they are just caving right now. They've got to change it up. We'll see what happens.
Let us know where you're watching from on our Facebook live stream, wherever you may be, whether it be across the nation or anywhere around the world. Jade Dougal watching on our stream. Love the drone shots. Thank you, Jade. That drone capturing some marvellous places here in Perth, especially the city under the lights. Can't do much better than that.
There's head ref Bob. He's in charge of all the refs, and he is teaching them all and making them all better and helping them improve.
Head ref Bob has done some great work teaching the refs, young and old, of course. And it'll be a first and down play restarting after that timeout, 20-8, as we're nearing the 3-minute mark. Bobby G, a reverse. And it'll likely be a loss of 1 or 2 there, second down.
Looking like loss of 1. Unfortunately, someone missed a block, which happens it happens all the time, and it's really hard. Blocking for that long, doesn't matter who you are, is hard to block for more than 3-4 seconds. If you can do it, you're doing well.
Dignam now on the defensive line. He obviously can play both ends. He's very quick on his feet. His pace on the field really beneficial to his skill set. Got a couple out wide have the Ducks. Throw intended there for Rosario, but incomplete, and it'll be a third down.
That's a second drop catch from Jake, fortunately.
They wouldn't want to risk a 3 and out, the Ducks, on their first drive after what had been such a strong second quarter.
And they've just had such good momentum already. That running back play set them right up. They are in scoring range. 2 attempts, though, to get 10 yards. It's not that hard.
Well, the ball's on the 29, and they have gone long before, and it's resulted in either A, a touchdown, or B, a defensive pickoff.
Oops.
Man in motion is Dignam. Benny G goes to the outside. Only now he's going to get tackled. 4th down.
They're 5 yards given there. Ball momentum loss, that's why. You see the quick switch though? The receivers are being targeted by certain players. 63 is staying on Charlie.
And they're keeping their offense back on the field. So they're going for it, as you said, which is always a good option, but always has its risks.
Well, right now there's no risk because, I'd say no risk. Usually if they did a punt, the returner would probably get more than 25 yards. So right now, I reckon they'll go for hooks. 5-yard hooks and try and get yards.
They've got 2 out wide for Benny G. Almost got the sack, was able to get it off in time, almost intercepted. But it is a turnover. Turnover on downs. And that'll bring the Jets offense back onto the ground.
And let's see what Scott does.
Scott Collins, he's going to make his first start of the third quarter. He'll be there for the rest of the game. Torren Honda out. Scotty Collins, he has been a key starter, as you said, all throughout this season.
Versatile player, can play anywhere. Also a PT. Fun fact there.
Personal trainer.
Yeah.
During his days. I've got some great personal trainers here in Western Australia. Some of the best in the business. Scott Collins among those. First and down on the 25. Collins fires it low, intended for Buckland, but just a little too low there, and we'll have a second down.
And someone else is down at the back.
Yep, and tried to get up, but no luck. And he too is grimacing with pain. That's 73.
Punch in the ground. Don't know what's wrong.
That is unfortunate. The Jets may have had a bad run with injuries tonight.
I'm not seeing the dirty hits either, though.
No, there haven't been any dirty hits.
That's something that where injuries come mostly from. A nice, well, unfortunately, nice dirty hit. And defensive players on both sides of the field. There are players out there that love those hits, and that's why they play. But whatever's happened here, we hope he's okay.
Another injury timeout as a result, as you saw the drone panning out from the city in the Mitchell Freeway. Looks as though it might be a hamstring injury for 73, and it looks pretty serious with the way he was grimacing with pain on the ground. He's getting a round of applause from the crowd and his teammates. That is a pretty bad blow for the Jets, and they have had a couple of injury blows already tonight.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate. Hamstring's just conditioning more than anything else. And maybe a bad twist or just stepping in the wrong place. It happens. We hope he's okay, though.
Certainly hope he is, and that he can recover quickly. But for the Jets, these injuries, they aren't helping, not just with the position that they have on the scoreboard, but also, especially with their fight to retain fourth place or seal fourth place, because if they win, fourth place is theirs. But at the moment, not only the scoreboard, these injuries aren't helping their cause. Collins goes to the outside, intended for Allen, should have caught that one.
That was an easy catch. He should have had that. He would have been tackled straight away, but again, easy catch. And you see, Scott's firing out real quickly. He's not giving the defenders any chance to get near him. It is quick look, throw.
That's what Collins has got. He's got that ability. Make that quick look throw within about a second. Unfortunately, Allen was not able to finish off the good work that time. That was a very easy catch he should have taken. They're risking a 3rd and out here. It's on the 25. Collins again going for the long one. Allen the intended target and incomplete. And that'll be a 3 and out for the Jets. That's another one that they've conceded this game.
Let's see if punt will come in. Probably will. No flags on the field, so that's a good thing too. Yep.
Man, last quarter, the second quarter, there was a flag on the 3rd down, and that gave the Jets a little reprieve.
100%. Kicking ball, looks like that's in.
Yep, they're going to be punting it away. Or are they? Yes, they are. James Allen, intended place kicker, is going to punt it away.
Chadwick is coming to the backfield as well, though.
Fielding the punt will be Wakura for the Ducks. Here's the punt. Got plenty of hang time on that one. Close to the line. Wakura makes the return. Sees some daylight, but only brief. He gets dragged down.
Looks around the 30-yard mark.
That's a decent return. To get it anywhere either on the 30-yard line or over the 30-yard line, that's still a pretty good return.
Sometimes. Depends who it is.
Well, it depends on where you first pick up.
Yeah.
Depends where you first pick it up from.
Of course. Depends if the blocks get it. Because if you get a good block on, which you can, if that happens, that can change the field of play entirely. Yeah. Jets struggling to get enough players on the field right now, though. They keep having to call people on last minute.
And especially also with the run of injuries that they've had in tonight's game.
I know, it's concerning. Hope they're okay. Ducks in the huddle. Fletcher having his own target. 63 going out to the other side as well. Both aiming for the same player every time.
There's Middleton having a chat with his head coach as the action gets back underway. It's a 1st and 10, inside handoff, and only a gain of about 2 there. Ducks lead at 20-8 if you're just joining us for the first time. 3 touchdowns to 1. Sir Johnson has 2 for Vincent City.
Looks like a 4-yard gain. You'll see something that happens a lot of the time. The running back will come in and try to cut up. But unfortunately, when they stop, the defense will pounce. A lot of the time, it's a lot better just to continue forward that momentum, get the extra 2 yards from that momentum instead of stopping.
Byron Rennie with special expert comments with Paul Persick here in the commentary box on this Saturday night. McNichol on the offensive end, looking to chop that space up. Faking the throw, going for the handoff towards Dang. He immediately gets caught.
But we also have a flag on the field, and that was before the ball went out.
Yep, got a yellow flag. What will the referee say?
Face mask.
Face mask hold. Amongst the
Auto
field
first
of play
down
there.
and 15 yards.
Automatic
it's a
first
great
down.
result for the Ducks. Unfortunate for the Jets. That's all discipline though. Now and then your hand just ends up there though, which is the other problem because unfortunately you're fighting, people are moving, they're ducking down.
There's so many people in one scrimmage. It's always one that just happens out of the blue. Nothing, no malice or intent in that whatsoever.
Other times it can be intentional, of course.
Yeah,
Though.
but it's very rare.
Yeah.
But the refs will always give them, obviously.
Yeah, protect the players, which is the best thing about this league right now. We are always protecting the players.
And they've done it so well, especially with the influx of changes over the last few years, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Concussion rule changes as well, protecting players. Where you're leading with helmets rule.
1st and 15. Johnson with the inside handoff. He sees some daylight, but brief.
Looks like 4 yards.
Good gain of 4 there, so it'll be a second down, just outside the 40-yard line.
He stepped up his game though, making it through now. The only other side of things though, they have lost 2 players from the interior. Got the drone shot right there.
Yep, flying right above our commentary box here, but that is a great shot. The field here at E&D Littus Stadium.
Best stadium out there.
Absolutely. Goes into their ancient sports history, the former velodrome site, the 62 Commonwealth Games, as Benny G is going to go for the inside throw, picked off again. That is a brilliant defensive pickoff, and that'll give the Jets a big opportunity. That pickoff made by Thomas Chadwick. We mentioned the Chadwick brothers, how quick they are on their feet in defense, and Thomas this time proved exactly why. With a defensive pickoff, the Jets now have a chance.
The worst part about that, Benny had a lot of time there. So he gave that up. He could have run, could have done something else. He went for the pass and he could have done it.
And he had the daylight in front of him.
Yeah.
But that is a great pickoff on defense by Thomas Chadwick, and the Jets now have a chance. They can trim the margin down to 6 if they can score, which is what they've struggled with over the last couple of weeks, especially when they got shut out last week in that 34-0 loss. But this is their big chance. 2 receivers starting from behind. In fact, it's an inside handoff towards Gakaria.
Run play, gain of 2 yards.
That's a good run play. In fact, that was Howless. That's a good run play, given the inside handoff to Howless. Blockers doing everything they can to give Howless a little more daylight, but only a gain of 1 or 2, as you mentioned.
Correction, it might be 3 from the looks of it. Got the ref standing on the line right there.
Always on the spot, second down. About 7 here. Still to go. This time, not with the handoff. Towards Allen, makes the catch, and immediately brought down across the line. Good tackle by Middleton, who, as we said during the break, been an imposing presence as a defensive defensive back.
Not just him though. 13 was holding him up to get that tackle in. If number 13 wasn't there, he wasn't able to contribute. It's a group tackle. Group teamwork and getting to the ball really helps.
Middleton and Lockley, those defensive backs, contributing to that tackle on Allen, and looks like another timeout being called. And that may be a crucial one for the Jets, because maybe they want to change up a little bit of their strategy, but not too much. Because Collins is doing such a good job as quarterback so far. He's got a couple of good throws in, capitalising on that defensive pickoff. And on that third down, that timeout, maybe we want to give him a good chance to convert for first down.
Seems to have the time at the moment. Whether or not he's going to be able to capitalise on it continually, maybe the Ducks will change up the strategy right now.
Defensively, they cannot afford to leak out any gaps and allow any daylight for the Jets because they've got that 12-point cushion. They're wanting to hang on to it, but if they concede a touchdown, the pressure's going to be on.
But that 12-point cushion is really nothing, though. They need more.
They do.
They need to get that percentage up. Unless they get it up and, you know, crank out at least 10 more points, well, their season may be over.
Well, but keep in mind, there's still a round to go.
Yes,
there is still a round to go next week.
But who knows what will happen that week?
Well, speaking of the ladder, of course, Claremont in 4th place. They're on 7 points. They've got a win rate of only 39%. The Vincent City Ducks, they could equal Claremont on points. But that win percentage, very, very crucial indeed. Especially if they go on to equal points. And, of course, that final round will set up a big battle for them for that final playoff spot. So third down and about 2. Collins goes to the outside. It's a beautiful throw. Oh, could have got that one there, Chadwick. That is a rare blunder.
Chadwick should have had that. That is the problem. Number 9 didn't even turn around. He just ran through. He gave up on it. And that's the problem. There was an opportunity there for an intercept as well.
But if they go for it here, that will be the right call because they're only about 2 yards away. I could see them going for it here.
I see a run play. Maybe even a QB sneak.
Well, that is the right play to go with. Either a run or a QB sneak. They could just only get 2 yards. They only need 2 yards to convert first down.
Well, I've just seen some chat going on between Fletcher and Scott. I'm actually betting on emotion.
Well, let's see right here. It's a 4th and 2. They're going for it. No, they're going long. But look at the open man. Why didn't they go for the sneak? Why didn't they go for the sneak? The intended target was Gale. But why didn't they go for the sneak? That blows me away.
Unfortunately, they went greedy. He's having the time to throw, though. This is very important. He has had the time to throw.
I don't think he should have thrown. They could have gone with what you mentioned, the QB sneak. That only had 2 yards to get. It's easier said than done, but you know, go for the most simple.
At the same time, though, that receiver was unchallenged, 100% unchallenged, and I mean, like, he had at least 4 yards behind him. So, was the right call? Didn't make it to him.
Nonetheless, the Ducks now have the ball again, and now they have a chance to extend the current cushion that they've got. 12 points is the margin. 18.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. It's round 14, Gridiron West action here on Front Row Screen Sport. Where for you in 22? It's another big year of sport.
Still can't believe it's 22.
Yeah. Time certainly flies, doesn't it? Wilco Wilkinson, shout out to you watching from the Apple Isle in Tasmania. How about that? Shout out to all the good folk there. Benny G, inside handoff to Johnson. Goes to the outside. Converts on the first down before he is brought back to earth on the field by a couple of tacklers. Chadwick was one of them. Johnson, he's got himself a couple of good runs here.
Yeah, those outside runs have been doing well. They have been doing, those handoffs have been doing great. I think they're ignoring the centre now where all the congestion is, and those 3 yards, they're ignoring it, going for the sweep every time. Sweep left, and then probably sweep right next play. We'll see what happens. We're noticing a favour of the left, of course, for his runs.
Shout out to Tom Lewin in the meantime. He's watching from Melbourne.
People everywhere.
Absolutely, not just around the nation, but around the world. I'm going to send a special shout out to the Apple Isle as well. They've had a hell of a time in sport over the last 6 months. AFL Finals, Ashes Test, their own NBL team. They've had it so good. Whoa! Whoa, a nice little fall there for Johnson. He catapulted there like a gymnast doing the vault.
It's too bad we don't have NFL rules where if you're not touched when you go down, you can get back up. It's a nice rule, and I kind of wish we had it. At the same time, you know, I'm glad we don't have it sometimes because there's been many times before where someone has caught the ball, rolled, and probably gone in the end zone, and that would be a touchdown otherwise.
But also, it could have risked potential injury, so always player safety paramount.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
But the Ducks have gained another. It's still the second down. And the ball is just behind the 30-yard line. Benny G again looking for a long throw to the outside. And it's intended for Kazakov, but incomplete.
He sniped himself.
He did.
He fell over his own legs, which is terrible. He is doing, literally, all he has to do is keep running forward, turn his head. He turned around, and that is a football play. Football players do it all the time. Unfortunately, he's transitioned to Gridiron, and those things do hold people back.
Third down now. It'll be a third down and about 8. It's still behind the 30-yard line. Especially since they are close to the end zone. You ought to go for it on a fourth down.
100%.
Maybe risky, but it can be worth it if you convert on first down on the third or the fourth down. One starting behind. Benny G. He's going to look for Kazakov again. No, this time he goes to Charlie. Does he get it? I think he does. That is a first down conversion, I think. Yes. Or is it? It might be inches short. Might be inches short.
I think we're getting a measure.
Yep, we're getting the measure. The tape measure's coming in.
Nope, I think Bob called it.
Mark, first down. First down. First down.
Bob there right on the screen.
Yep.
Head ref.
Head ref Bob on the spot. Doing a great job, as he has done throughout the season.
One of the nicest chaps in the league.
Absolutely. First down and 10 for the Ducks.
23 yards to go.
Big opportunity to extend the cushion. There's a flag. Flag is out.
I think that may be taking too long to get to the play. Delay of game. But the timeout may have been called in time.
Good thing they didn't lose too much yardage.
At scoring range, we don't know what will happen.
A timeout in the meantime has been called. As a result, Jets and the Ducks will look to regroup. We haven't seen a lot of scoring since that second quarter.
Both defenses doing well. Been too many intercepts. That's been the real problem right now, what I'm seeing. Ducks, too many intercepts. But they can fix that problem. They're at the range now where they get their 2 running backs in though, and they maybe are just charged through doing brute force. Brute force is a strategy that works well if you have the strength of the running backs. And of course, linemen getting blocks. Linemen are the unsung heroes though. Those O-linemen, they do not get enough credit. They do so much work for this.
23.5 minutes gone this third quarter. On the CD Dodd scoreboard, players reconvening.
Still in one running back.
Only one, and it looks as though they're going to go for the throw. There is a man in motion. Number 6 for the Ducks. Benny G goes to the outside. Johnson makes the catch. Breaks through run. Keeps his feet. Breaks through 2. Touchdown, Ducks! Johnson has 3. Certainly been his game tonight. And he's letting his teammates know it, and rightfully so. 26-8. The Ducks could be on their way. They've extended the cushion like they wanted.
Unfortunately, Fletcher's now got to come off. He's had an equipment malfunction. Watch the hit right here. He's gone down low. He's taken a good hit there.
That's on the CD Dodd replay. He just kept his feet there, Johnson, in spite of that hit. Took the catch, kept his composure, went to the outside, saw the daylight, and made it. And now they're going to go for the 2-point conversion.
Crucial. Get them up to that 20 points they're desiring.
Benny G is going to go for the throw, and it's good.
Nope.
No, it's not. Oh, and players converging. There's a bit of heat going on here. Bit of pushing and shoving and a bit of nagging going on. You wouldn't want it to escalate. And the referees separating the teams. Ooh, scary moment for both teams.
Unfortunately now, though, things have gotten chirpy. We're going to see some bad stuff happen, probably. Unless they keep their composure and keep cool, which I hope they do. No one likes to see the scuffing. But Jets are probably getting a little bit chirpy. Ducks may be doing the same thing as well.
Might be down to just frustration, considering that the Jets have had plenty of opportunities on the offensive end that has gone begging, and they're getting heavily overwhelmed on the defensive end with this constant barrage of offensive aggression by the Ducks.
Seeing what the ref's calling.
All 4 referees deliberating on the matter. We'll get play restarted. The Ducks, they'd want to increase that cushion. I reckon they go for the onside kick.
Ooh, that would be a good choice, but I don't think they've been training for it. That is a big problem. If you train for it, you can do it. If you haven't trained for it, it's a bit harder to do. Also, if you look at the manning on the field, it doesn't look like they would have the manning for it. Usually you would stack either the left or right with certain positions, usually speedsters, and just push through. Go for a double block on the guy it's going to, and then have one boys diving on the ball.
Fowler will put this one in the air. Midline drive. And it's going to be taken by Burns. Goes towards the 20 and gets brought down. Good team tackle by Fowler and Tomo. And they're getting chirpy again. Getting involved there was Howells and a couple of the Ducks just trying to separate not only their own side but the Jets from the heat of the scuffle.
As I said, the chirpiest is coming in and they're going to start scuffing. Hopefully, no one will be ejected so that each team will have each player for next game.
Let's have a look at the CD Dodd replay. It was a hard team tackle. Fowler was one of them. And another one.
The great thing he did though, number 12, he stepped through two players in a double tackle. He got through that. They should have had him right there.
And as you see, the chirpy.
Well, they broke up pretty quickly though, so that's okay.
Referee's just deliberating there with Crosby Clague for the Jets, and another one of the players, it looks like Adam Fowler. And nice knucks there, good, giving each other the knucks. Very sporting indeed.
Probably giving a warning each team.
Yeah, that'll be the most likely outcome. Players will reconvene. The Jets will be coming out on offense on their own 24-yard line. 27 minutes gone in the third quarter. 26-8. The Ducks have a big advantage. The Jets desperately needing to peg it back. Collins on the outside. Here comes Chadwick. Nice sidestep. Goes through 1, 2. Couldn't get through the third and is brought down by Lockley. But they're able to gain some good yardage there, and that will be a first down.
Good to see him catch it, though. I did question if you should have just gone for the sideline. I personally wouldn't.
And Collins is starting to find some different targets now. Honda only had one prime target in focus. Collins has got that variety, as we see on the CD Dodd replay.
See, though, Chadwick actually had a lot of space.
Second and 10. Collins again throwing to the outside. Allen making the catch. Goes through 2, but steps over the line. And gains a lot of yards this time.
Unfortunately, there's a flag now. Someone put an elbow up into him. Didn't catch the number, but that's definitely going to be a personal foul.
Referees chatting about that. Awaiting the decision. It looks as though it will be a personal foul, as you said, Byron.
They're going to be calling all real fast every time.
And the referee's just bringing forward James Allen. And he's got the notebook out. Unsportsmanlike conduct on 16.
Also 13 though.
Also,
as well,
so they've gone both ends.
Yes, so they're going to. I think they're going to cancel them both though. But this is going to happen for the rest of the time. From my experience, it may just get worse. And I hope it doesn't, because unfortunately refs may call the game. It has happened before, and right now, you know, I'm enjoying this game.
Well, it certainly has had plenty of intensity. We wouldn't want it called early.
I'm seeing some great throws from Scott. He's performing, I hate to say it, way better than Honda. Should he be their starting quarterback?
I reckon so. If Collins had started, I mean, Honda had some really good throws in the first half, but if Collins had started, maybe that would have had a better chance for the Jets to try and peg back the lead, or maybe take it early on in the game.
Well, I wouldn't say they were the best throws. They're too much air, in my opinion.
And a quick handoff from Collins to Burns. And will that be enough for a first down? I think it will, but just. No, it won't. It's a third down.
Ooh, they are just short though.
Yeah, just by inches.
I reckon they'll do another run play.
There has to be. If you're that close to the line that's required to go for a first down, you always got to go for that running play, even a QB sneak.
Let's see when the Ducks come out, though. I honestly reckon they're going to come out with one of their little sneaky plays that they just have implemented, at least my personal opinion.
Don't want a false start, though. They did have that in the first quarter.
As I say all the time, got to hold your water.
The referee's called a stop. All three referees deliberating here.
What is the call? Or is she saying it's passed? That is the other question. Are they giving the first down?
Well, the question is, if they think of bringing the first down, they'll have to bring out the measure.
But what line is that straight? Unless we get a camera right above, draw lines perfectly, I mean, we won't know.
Drone camera has been in great positions all throughout the night. Not only on the field, but also surrounding backdrops. What would the decision be?
What is... I'm really not sure what it is.
Yeah, matter of confusion at the moment. In fact, I think they're going to make it first down.
Yep.
First down.
That is a lifeline for the Jets.
It's a big lifeline, especially this late in the quarter. 32.5 minutes gone, 26-8. They can score here, the Jets. They may just get back into the game. Collins. Again, he's going outside. Good pass to Allen. Makes the catch, goes over the line. That might have been the plan in that play. Stop the clock, save yourself a little bit of time, and allow for that another big long throw and go for the touchdown just before three-quarter time.
Yeah, and you know what? That play has happened how many times now? We've watched that play happen a lot. That is the favourite place to go. He's going to keep picking on that area.
But you also risk that defensive pickoff or even the fumble.
Oh, but Scott's reading it pretty well. That's the other thing. I reckon he's reading there, and then he's not even going to read his other receivers. I don't think he's even looking there. I think he's just quick firing, and if not, he's going to run.
Allen and Chadwick, the prime targets. They are the two wide receivers to the left-hand side. They've got two on the right. I don't think Collins will be looking to the right. It's a handoff this time out to Burns, but only gains a couple.
Looks like a gain of, oh no, even a loss of 1 yard.
Yes, third down. And a loss of one. There, head coach of the Ducks.
He's writing something down. I wonder if he's going to come up with something.
Phil Mullen, is he going to pull a rabbit out of a hat? Third down, and they're about halfway. To 3rd and 5. I'll go for it likely in the event of a 4th down. Collins is going to throw. He's going to the right this time and just out of reach for Dingham.
But you're not having those wheels.
And that'll be a 4th down, 4th and 5. Looking likely to go for it, and they will. Their offense will remain on the field.
Asking Honda for the play. Obviously, Honda's making the calls there. Scott's just executing them.
That's right. Good quarterback combo they are. They've got good communication, which is always essential when you're trying to make these plays. Timeout's been called. And this will be a good chance for the Ducks. Change up their defensive strategy a little bit. They've let out a couple of gaps when the Jets have gone for these short throws. Collins out to Allen and then Burns.
Have you seen, though, they have had a lot more time to throw the ball in this quarter here, especially the last 5 minutes. I watched it before. There was not a defender close to Scott. He could have waited another minute. Not a minute, you know, another 2 seconds, maybe. And that 2 seconds could be the difference. If he waited that second, maybe we would have got to Fletcher. Maybe it wouldn't have. We don't know. But because he's been under such pressure, maybe that's why he's throwing that quickly.
Those could be the calls that if the Jets are able to get back into this game, it's really going to be a big job for the Jets to embark on.
If you're looking at the sideline, though, they've only got a few boys on the sideline now. The rest of them out. They are fighting hard.
Dom Allison says James Allen, one of the great junior receivers playing up tonight, and yes, he is doing a really good job, is James Allen. I'll absolutely agree on that. He's had a good game.
100%.
And while the players are reconvening, so far for the Jets, top three, who have been your best three for the Jets tonight?
Number 16 is doing Scott Collins. I say he is making the difference right now. Honestly, and Chadwick on his returns, he's actually forcing the things to happen. But that's the major ones right now. Actually, Chadwick brothers, probably. Those intercepts have been key.
I'll have to go the same as well. I'll have to put the Chadwick brothers in there, and Scott Collins and Allen if we were to have a top four. But those four have been major in the third quarter. Collins throws wide. He finds Buckland. They haven't gone to him a lot, but that was a good long throw, and that takes the ball to the 10.
And that gets him in scoring range, and that is a threat right now. You see, again, Scott is having the time. Because he's got the time, he's getting the choice to throw to people.
Because his blockers are doing the job that they need him to do. And that's something that they weren't able to do for Honda in the first half.
Now, I'm just wondering, what has changed? Have they filled those holes? Or is it that people aren't doing their assignments on defense? Which one is happening? The strategy's obviously working, though.
I reckon the Ducks aren't picking up their assignments quickly enough, and that may cost them. The ball is on the 12.
Scary part is, they're all options now because he's thrown out there.
Chadwick and Allen. Still too wide to the left. He's going there. Allen makes the catch, but immediately gets brought down. And maybe for a gain of about 1.
I think that's a gain of a 6. Oh, they're doing no huddle. They're going straight out. Quick play out.
They went with the hurry up out to Dingham. No! Well, Dingham just out of his reach there, and that was quite an ambitious play.
Unfortunately, all the balls are going over. It is frustrating. Scott's making the attempts. He's nearly getting there. Just needs that little bit more air time so the other player, Fletcher, can get under it.
Another one is down. It's one of the Ducks, I think.
Well, that's a rarity. Who is down right now? That's Dylan right there.
Yeah, Dylan McCosker.
Not sure what's wrong, limping off, so unsure of the injury. Obviously,
might be a calf or a hamstring.
Obviously, he should be getting help getting right now, but unfortunately, he decides to just walk off.
And in comes big Jared Bennett. And that'll be another injury timeout. Players coming back on. They're just reconvening on the offensive end.
Obviously hurt himself somewhere. Not sure what the injury is, though.
Well, might be his hand. I mean, he's grabbing on that hand. He was shaking his hand a little bit there. So it might be his hand. Collins. He's going to go wide. Intended, but incomplete. That's another one.
Almost had an intercept there. There's a few of those that have been going begging. Big playmakers that could happen there.
Well, that'll be a 4th down. They'll have to go for it. They got no other option.
I do like their odds.
We've nearly played 40 minutes in this quarter. "40 minutes almost elapsed in this third term. The Jets, maybe one last chance to slim the margin before 3/4 time. Collins, is he going to go to Dignam? He goes wide. Dignam, yes! Touchdown, Jets. They finally got him. And they are ecstatic on that one. They are back in the game.
It's about time he got to him. It's what, 3rd attempt, 4th attempt to him? It's
4th
good on him
attempt.
finally getting to him. Here's a replay.
We see here on the CD Dodd replay, Collins, he rarely looks to the right-hand side for any wide targets, but he got the target in Dignam, and he made it count. That was a good throw.
He was given the room too. That was the other problem. He was given 10 yards by his defensive back, and unfortunately, that was given to him.
And now, just like that, the margin has been trimmed. 26-14, 2 touchdowns in it, as we are on the verge of three-quarter time. Jets aiming for the two-point conversion. Wide throw intended for Allen. Incomplete. Two-point attempt, no good.
Now to kick off and kick return.
And I think that might be three-quarter time. I think. Yes, it is. Three-quarter time. Oh, that late touchdown by the Jets has brought them back into the game. It's 2 touchdowns in it. 26-14. Byron, you can bet it is going down to the wire in this final quarter.
Scott is making the difference right now. 100%. Maybe the O-line is... I've seen the O-line do great blocking as well. But Scott is having time right now. He's firing quickly. He's doing well.
1 touchdown each scored by both sides. And 12 points is the margin. Can Claremont come from behind and snatch the game and seal 4th place? Or will it be Vincent that will hold on and take the fight right down to the last round? This all-important kickoff will really set the scene for what is going to be a big final quarter. Who do you back? Would you still say Vincent to hang on, or can the Jets come back?
Well, it just depends what happens with the receivers. Who's Benny G going to throw to? What plays will we get done? How much field time will they get? It is just the start of the 4th, so there is still 12.5 minutes of actual game time, clock time there.
Still sitting on the fence, but that remains to be seen.
I'm hoping for Ducks personally. That's just my personal opinion because they are lower in the ladder. Now here we go.
Wekura fields the kickoff from 2 yards. Breaks through 3. Taken over the line. And that is another good return, just over the 40.
That's a great return. Puts him in a nice position. Could be a bit better. But you know what? I'd always be happy with that. 40-yard return, very happy. He's making some good yards on his returns.
But the Ducks will have the first offensive drive in this final term. 1st and 10, just behind the 40. Johnson has 3 touchdowns for the Ducks. Dignam has 2. And the Ducks getting on the huddle. What are they going to muster here?
I personally am seeing some short plays to start with, but there's always going to be one deep option.
They've got 2 wide on the left-hand side. That's what they've gone with. Benny G will look to start this one off. Man in motion. Toss out wide to Johnson and taken over the line with a gain of about 5 or 6.
No, he stepped out earlier. It's a real sneaky one when you step out because it's just your foot, just on the line, and they'll call it. Bob there looking out for it every time.
2nd down. Outside handoff was quite a smart play, dare I say it. You know, it gave Johnson that opportunity for a bit of daylight on the outside.
Saw Jake there run around though, and I honestly think there may be a reverse coming in, where instead of it going to that way, it's going to come back and Jake's going to run around with it. It's going to be a surprise.
Nice reverse towards Johnson, but not enough daylight. And only a gain of about 1. 3rd down. And about 6 still to go.
Milton out there calling for lids on already on D. Usually happens.
Always gets them prepared in the event of a 4th down, whether they have to punt it away.
From this position, I wouldn't see a punt personally.
Well, only if they have a major loss or if they suffer a QB sack.
Oh, with a big pushback, yeah, but likelihood, I don't think the odds are going to happen. Both O-lines are doing quite strong.
Benny G, the outside throw, and incomplete. That'll be a 4th down. And you heard the call, 4th down D. And now the question remains, do they go for it?
Not sure. Right now, Benny G's walking off. Is he going to discuss, or are they going for it?
Well, he's onto the field.
They're going to punt.
They are going to punt, saying too big of a risk. the offense going onto the bench, onto the sidelines, and Middleton will punt it away. And awaiting for the catch, Nicholas Chadwick.
Well, here's the thing though. Ben's a quarterback as well though. Will there be a sneaky throw?
Could happen. Scrappy return. He eventually punts it away. And they could have signalled for the fair catch. Chadwick couldn't return that one, but it's brought down. And that is just behind the 30.
I honestly think there was a trick play happening there. I think the ball snapped out wrong, and unfortunately, Middleton missed it because of the positioning, and then we had what happened.
If he had that snap go perfectly, maybe he could have gone for that fake and instead of gone for the pass.
Yeah, well, as you saw, receivers didn't go downfield. So, they didn't go field that much. They didn't go for shoot. They did a play. So, obviously, in my opinion, it was a throw.
Fortunately, it wasn't executed with that snap. Didn't go down well. 1st and 10 for the Jets. Their first offensive drive in this final term.
Colin been having a good run so far. So he continues it.
So has Allen, Burns, and Thomas Chadwick. Can they keep that run going? They're 2 touchdowns behind. Outside throw intended for Dignam. He's got it. Breaks through 1, breaks through 2, zigzags through 3, but caught. Good team tackle there by Cowley and Middleton. But that is a big gain for the Jets. 1st down on the 20.
He's found his Fletcher finally.
As we see on the CD dot replay, this is a very good throw from Collins. No wonder he's having a good one. Take us through it.
So it's a corner route. He's actually beat his DB. Faked it. Faked again, which honestly, number 9 should come down low for the tackle. And then he's had everyone close down on him, which is the problem with it. He went to slow down to do a sidestep. Again, forward momentum should have been his first priority.
Well, Ling Dang should have been a little bit more careful when trying to assign Dignam.
Amazing yards there.
It's on the 20. Inside handoff to 88. They're going for a run. Breaks down 2, 3, but he's brought down. Great tackle by Fowler over the line.
And that's Cheney. He's back.
Cheney.
And wait, is he down again?
No, he's back up.
Yep, Cheney's down again.
No, he's limping. That's another injury.
This is the problem with athletes. They come back on the field.
Too big of a risk.
Yeah.
Always.
Like, once you're injured, you should come off, because even if you're taped up, you can do it again.
And that risk for Cheney, I don't think was worth it, especially if you're on the risk of re-aggravating it. Eventually got it right. Re-aggravating it, it's always at a high, and the prognosis could be a lot worse.
100%, 100%. And it may affect his job. And everyone has to go to their job at the end of this.
Absolutely. So, a 2nd down. 2nd and goal.
10 yards.
Oh no, it's a 1st and goal, rather. Collins on the outside, intended for Allen, but no luck.
Allen's his option. He was clear too.
But also Dignam, he had some space on the outer side. So, 2nd and goal.
Double threat on both sides. They can't isolate anymore, so they have to isolate. They can't actually just cover 2, having 2 people covering. They have to choose, and that's the hard part. If anything, I'd be jamming them on the line. If you jam on the line, it's going to get held up, and it's going to give them time to get to the quarterback. But they're not jamming that well. Actually, to be honest, look at the distance between Fletcher and his DB. It's a fair distance.
Collins.
Run play.
Hand off to Burns, and he slips up. Slips up just ahead of the 10. 3rd and goal.
Self-snipe. He had momentum. He could have done more.
This is really turning out to be an absolute barnstormer in the last few minutes. The Jets have come from 8-20 down, 14-26, 12 points in it, effectively 2 touchdowns. If they can score from this drive, then it's really going to go down to the wire.
100%, 100%.
Collins. He's got Burns not far behind.
Here's the pass.
He's throwing long, intended for Chadwick, just out of his reach, incomplete. 4th down, they'll have to go for it.
I'm just wondering though, did he get held up beforehand? Is that why he didn't make it, or was the cut wrong?
Well, let's have a look at the replay. Look at Chadwick on the centre. No, he was just on his own.
So from what I could see there, on his cut, he slowed down more than he should have. That cut as well, though, probably was not shallow enough.
Timeout. Timeout's being called, and I reckon that's a good one for the Jets. They've had 3 chances gone begging. They'll have to go for it on the 4th down. It'll be good for them to reconvene and figure out their strategy.
Well, Scott's got the time right now. That's what's happening. He has the time. Here's what I see happening right now, though, and you know what? They need to do it. They're going to send every receiver to the end zone. There's going to be at least one of them standing on the line, one cutting left or right, going outside or inside, depending where they are. They're going to have the options, and they're going to be in the end zone. They're not going to risk it. They're not going to do a run play. I do not see a run play. The only other option I see is maybe a motion where it's a handoff to Chadwick. That's another option I see. Now, we haven't seen that happen yet.
No.
But if you can get a nice block on, and I mean, you stack, say, trips left with some big players.
Who could be tasked to block to allow Chadwick to go for that outside run?
They don't have the blockers. That's the problem. They're big players who you would want on there. They're big player Alex, who you've seen help some people off the field, who has a torn bicep. You have some big players there, but guess what? They aren't there on the field. They are small guys. 41, don't get wrong. For his size, he is really strong. I know he's stronger than I am, but he is not that strong. And unfortunately, there are some bigger, stronger defensive players out there.
This will be a big play for the Jets. 4th down and goal. A touchdown would bring them back into the game.
As you can see, most of the defense is lining up far back now.
Collins will go for the throw to the outside. Digham! Bobbled out of the defensive hands. 4th down. That's a chance gone begging again.
And there was a double pump up as well. Slap that ball down on 4th. Don't get me wrong, if they could catch an easy one on the chest, they can take it, and they would probably clear a run.
So the Ducks defence, they had to work very, very hard to contain the Jets deep in that red zone, as they call it, the last 10 yards before the end. And they are rewarded with a turnover in their favour.
It was unfortunate, though, because they read the play perfectly. They lined everyone up on the line. They put them in right position, and they sent 4 players in. And as you saw, well, they had the 2 inside, well, 2 DBs. They went straight in, hit. Cheney's going out again, though. This is a problem.
That is a big risk.
They must be down.
At least 2 or 3.
He's limping out right now. He should not be out there. He's going to hurt himself.
Toss from Benny G out to Johnson.
And he's got that room again.
Gets past, has plenty of room, goes past 2, 3, spins around, but he's brought down. Good tackle by Chadwick. Johnson again, another long run. It's bringing the Ducks right back halfway.
Oh, he's down on the ground right now, though. Has something happened?
Oh, no.
It's
an ankle. Oh, no.
No, he's okay.
Oh.
He's asking, checking.
Yeah, always a precaution. Let's have a look again.
This play's worked every single time right now. He's bumped him off.
It's 1. That's 2. That's 3. 4. Almost 5. Almost 5. But those long runs from Johnson, as you said, Byron, they are working wonders for the Ducks in this second half.
Yep, having a nice open field. It's working well. Sweeps are a great play when you have the speed. And he has the speed. Unfortunately, though, something scaring me is ball contain. Still doing it.
Benny G, this time throwing to the outside. And taken over the line halfway through the yards required.
Straight to Charlie, 5 yards. Quick hook route, easy peasy.
12 minutes gone in this final term. Ducks lead it 2 touchdowns effectively, 26-14. And that's on the CD Dodge scoreboard, round 14 of Gridiron West action on this Saturday night. Hasn't it been a marvellous game?
It's been great so far.
Front row screens very proud to bring you live action for the first time. Gridiron West in this great state. 2nd down and 5. Benny G inside.
There's that sweep again.
Toss to Johnson. This time he went a little further central, but only had a short gain, but it might be enough for a first down. Yes, it is.
Looks like first down.
First down conversion.
Sweeps are working well, though, as we're saying. Now, of course, though, the blocks were on. If you actually see what's happening on the left side, this is what the Ducks have for receivers that the Jets don't. They have big receivers. Their tight end, Jake, and 81, both of them can out-muscle their guys in front of them. And I mean out-muscle. They are way bigger. So when it comes to a block, all they got to do is get upper leverage on the left or right-hand shoulder. The running back reads the butt, and they're good to go.
Reverse there from Benny G. Out to Charlie. He's sweeping it on the outside. But it's taken over the line. No, he's broken through, but not on the second. Hard tackle and a big gain for the Ducks.
That was a good play. Good sweep.
And now they're in prime territory to, dare I say it, seal the win. It was a whistle. Referee's blown a whistle. Might be an infraction. No, it's injury time. And that's number 99, but he's okay.
Hasn't he come off already?
No, that's 88, Cheney. Let's have a look on the CD dot replay here. This great long sweep on the outside.
I think that's Rosie. Nice big hit there.
Oh, a little bit
comes
high.
Down.
Nice one around the neck there by Burns.
So they're just coming in, dropping the shoulder, getting that hit on. These receivers are bigger than the guys they're coming up against. Ducks are a big side. They have the strength there. And these run plays are destroying it right now. Unfortunately, though, it's also running the clock a bit unless they get out.
First and 10 on the 24. Benny G, wide throw, intended for McNichol, incomplete. And now they'll restart it again. Second and 10, 15 minutes gone this final term.
I'm not even kidding. I'd say they just keep doing the sweeps. Sweeps are working great. They've made the entire field so far. Jets can't seem to do much against it. Keep it going.
I'd have to agree on that. That's their second halves in particular, not just from Rosie number 6, but also Sir Johnson running those sweeps to the outer side of the field and their blockers doing their jobs. You can't go wrong with that.
So much speed there, so much size. And honestly, even if you hit someone and they hold you up and they can't get another player there, that extra 2-3 yards from that hit where they keep momentum forward is just working wonders.
Benny G, outside toss to Johnson. Finds some daylight. Breaks one. Couldn't break through the second. And that's Chadwick that is there for the tackle.
Number 60 with a nice block, though. Getting the reverse block there.
Yeah, Big Bennett's blocking it quite well with the number 60. And they only had a gain of about 4 or 5, so it's a third down.
That's all they need.
The question is, out of a third down, we've seen them go for the sweep in some plays and a short, long throw, or short or long throw in some plays on a third down, especially from this area, we're at the 20-yard zone.
So what do you say? To Charlie? I'm saying to Charlie.
You're saying to Charlie?
Yep.
I'm going to say to Charlie as well. We can go for either the sweep or the throw. Most likely the sweep, because that's been the most effective option. Third down with about 6 to go.
There's the pass.
They're going to go for the throw. Is it towards Charlie?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Makes the yards.
And they make the yards. They get the first down.
I'm so glad I called it because I've been wrong about a few of them so far.
You have indeed. But you got that one absolutely bang on. It is now first and 10. It's on the 11. Touchdown here will just about seal it.
I don't think it's the touchdown they need. They need another one after that, though. That's the big picture here.
Well, the two-pointer. Two-pointer, very important if they can get a touchdown here.
Yeah. No, they need a two-pointer, and they're going to need to score again to get the points they require. Jake out at wide receiver. This is a different play.
Benny G inside handoff. Johnson gets brought down there by Chadwick. And no real gain or real loss. It'll be a second down and 10 on the 12. The Ducks doing everything they can to try and seal this game. The Jets, they're not done with yet, but if they concede another touchdown, you could pretty much say signed, sealed and delivered for the Ducks.
I've seen games come back from this, so who knows?
Oh, anything can happen. Benny G. He's going to go to the outside. Long throw.
Ooh, another possible intercept.
Almost picked off. That was the same player who had that same miss, and again, he's not too pleased with himself. Who can blame him?
6'3", reading it, patting it down, but honestly, he could have had that. He really could have had that.
He could have.
As a defensive player, the call we make when we ever drop it, that's why I'm a defensive player. That's why I'm not a receiver.
So it's a third down. 3rd and 10 on the 12.
They've got to be doing that sweep again. That's what's been working right now. Their other throws have not been working. Charlie seems to be focused on the coverage there.
Bird's eye view gives us a great illustration. Long throw in towards Rosie, just out of his reach. And that'll be a 4th down. Well, they'll go for it from the 12, 4th down. 12 points in it in favour of the Ducks.
Again, they keep throwing there and it's not working. It's unfortunate, but it's from what I'm saying. Maybe a double reverse. Maybe that is the option.
That could be a good option for the Ducks. Double reverse, open up some space on the outside.
Go left, Rosie comes by, sweeps around. Could be what it is, really.
They're not going for the reverse, they're going for the throw. Benny G is going for it. It's a risky one. But it looks like it was incomplete. It was. Turnover. And that'll mean the Jets' offense will go back onto the field, but they're deep in their defensive territory.
But they've got a chance now. And
They do.
Scott has been doing great work for them.
I must say, the handful of spectators that we have here tonight, they're not only seeing some great action via the field in person, but of course, what about the big screen?
First time I've seen it, and I love it.
Oh, it is awfully good. You need an LED screen at your event. Call Matty Williamson and the crew, and they'll do you a great deal. Make no mistake about it. The Jets, they still have a chance. 20 minutes elapsed in this final term. Collins has done some magnificent work. They're throwing to the outside. Goes to Chadwick. He dashes towards the outside and might have been just short of a 1st down.
He went outside, though, to stop the clock, though. He's
That
doing
is important.
They are stopping the clock. They are going to be stopping the clock as fast as they can.
Keep that tactic going.
And then if they score, I reckon onside kick is probably the best option.
We could be right if they have that opportunity to score the touchdown. Collins, Burns and the Chadwick boys, they have been the 4 keys for the Jets tonight, especially in this second half. But
it's a different game the second half. It really is.
Absolutely. It's like you're playing 2 games in one. Outside throw, again to Chadwick, and again a long gain. And this time they convert on a 1st down.
Yep, as I said, running out. I wonder if they're going to run no huddle, though. That's the real question.
Well, it's not that late in the quarter, so I wouldn't take that risk yet.
Yes, but unfortunately, though, they have time constraint. If they're going for the win, which they still should go for the win, they still need to convert twice.
I have to.
They can keep going out, keep getting clock stop, play.
And there has to be some stage, having to think of it, they have to go for the hurry up. Dingham picked off! Middleton! Well, we talked about his presence on the defensive end. He is also a quarterback. But Middleton's pick-off, that might have been the move that has got the game for the Ducks.
Booms out 40 yards. Scott's a bit upset. You know what? There's been a few pick sixes in here. Many opportunities for it. It is a defensive game at the moment.
Let's have a look at the CD dot replay.
He's looked to Fletcher. Fletcher has not looked, though.
No, Middleton was the only one that did, coming from the right of screen, and what a beautiful pickoff.
At the same time, the consistency of overthrowing Fletcher has happened. Now, Scott should have thrown to Fletcher's right-hand side to the empty side of the field. That is a corner move, that's a corner route, and that stops it from the defender from getting on it if it goes over him. It's an extra safety step, essentially.
So the Ducks, thanks to that defensive pickoff, will have another chance to get the points. I reckon, like you said, Byron, you've got to keep going for that sweep. It has worked all throughout the second half. Sweep it to the outside. You've got Charlie and Rosie coming by on the wide sides of the ground. The Benny G, he's got Johnson sneaking up from behind. They were aiming for the QB sneak.
Is that delay a game?
It's either a delay game or it might have been a false start. False start.
Ooh, that's a nice thing to get. Defense in full.
False start, and they'll have to take it back for 5 yards. So it'll be a 1st and 15.
That's a bit rough.
Well, that does provide a little bit of light for the Jets, mind you.
Well, their defense has been doing well. The only thing they're not stopping is the sweep. Their coverage on the outside, on 81, even on Rosie, has been pretty good. 6-3's coverage, great. Honestly, Charlie seems like the best option right now, or a sweep. Let's see what happens.
We've also got Kazakov on the outer side. Inside handoff to Johnson, and gets pushed down. Only for a short gain.
Looks like a 2-yard gain.
It's not enough, especially when you've been taken back 5 yards.
Correction, 6-yard gain, but, you know, unfortunately because of 5 yards.
That means a 2nd and 9 with that correction. They've got Kazakov on the outer side, but they haven't looked to him a lot. Good thing he's got a little bit of double coverage there on the left-hand side.
Here's the pass.
2nd and 9. They're going wide. Charlie's the prime target, but he got held back. That is some good coverage there by Ardo. And that will be a 3rd down.
I'll be honest though, I think he stopped running. I think he got held up and just stopped running.
3rd down and 9.
You heard the Jets just call as well. Not sure if you heard it just then. They called, watch the hitch. So if they, hitch hook routes, if they do them, they can be great for getting yards, especially when the defensive back crashes down. You can do a quick step to left, roll out or right. It's very easy to dodge the attacker. Of course, if you break down properly on it, you can clean up the back and really hurt someone as well. So, it's, as a receiver, you're willing to take the hit for that route. It's a 5-yard gain every time, usually at least.
They've gone too wide on the right-hand side. Gate was one of them.
There's the pitch.
Toss out wide. Good pitch out there.
Trick play.
Ambitious throw. Very trick play there by Sir Johnson. But to no avail. 4th down. 3 and out. Of course, the Jets are yelling 4th down. So are the Ducks. 4th down D.
They're going for it, though.
They are.
Benny G is on the field still. They know the risk that what can happen.
It's 4th down. Could be very important. The Ducks, they are 9 short of the required gain for a 1st down. The Jets.
On that sweep, though, just before, unfortunately, someone missed their block assignment. That is what happened there. If you miss your assignment, that's what happens. Here's a pass.
Benny G's going to go along to the outside, out to Charlie, and it's blown it.
Unfortunately, Charlie slipped there. He lost his timing. The throw was probably in the right position. He was just behind on his run.
Now we're into the late stage of the final term. The Jets now have the ball on their offense. They're going to have to be very quick. And like you said, the tactic of the hurry up may have to be implemented.
Yeah, so the no huddle is they have some set audible plays. They'll call with either, different things. Rub the pants of the seam would be a certain play. Tap the helmet, certain play for certain players. Or they may just be in the huddle. Go, we're doing this play, then this play, and repeat said play because it can work. Obviously, the out plays are working really well. Fletcher seems to be the target on a corner route. Yeah.
Collins has only made one major mistake in the second half. Hopefully it won't be another. That's a beautiful pass.
That was a bubble
into the
wrap.
path of Allen. Almost a bubble wrap. Goes through one, but is pulled down by the other 2.
So it was a nice so behind the play run, thrown on the line of scrimmage, and then he had forward momentum, which is great. An absolute great play. It's actually a favorite of mine because you've got a forward defender blocking for you, and then you've just got a one-on-one. And if you're a big guy, you can beat that guy 90% of the time.
Check it out on the CD dot replay here. Good throw to the target out wide. The direction of the throw very good. Good side step there by Allen. Fakes the second. and taken over the line to stop the clock. You can only do that so much, though, especially when you're this late in the quarter.
Here's some what happened there, though. 41, our favourite Chadwick, he unfortunately gave up on his fight. He had a block going, and he just gave up. That gave him another defender to attack.
Second down.
And there's that Chadwick run again.
Chadwick again. First down, rather, and Chadwick gains about 3.
I think Duck's strategy has changed. It's now hold him out and then try to make up the points next week.
Well, they'll go equal with the Jets should they hang on and win on 7 points heading into the final round. And, of course, if one of these sides win their match and another loses, the winner of that match will go through to the playoffs, that Final Four in late February and March. So
hopefully it'll be a bit cooler then for them as well.
Yeah, because it reached 42.5 degrees today. It must have been absolutely sweltering. No wonder the juniors game got cancelled.
You heard that? Scott said kill. He's making it audible, making a call out. Position's changing.
Yep. A little bit of steps there from Collins, and it's paid off. Chadwick receiving the inside pass, goes towards the boundary. 1, 2, and he gets caught eventually by Wakura and makes a big gain. It's just behind the 10-yard line.
Here's the bad part, though. Wakura now has to go out because he had a equipment malfunction.
They should have gone for the hurry up. They should have gone for the hurry up after that.
No, because it went out. It's fine.
They stopped the clock?
Yeah, so they're okay. They don't need to hurry up. But that audible change was perfect.
We see here the inside pass towards Chadwick.
Absolutely open. Failure to wrap there. And then, of course, Ben Millen's gone for it. And then, luckily, you know what? Is he faster? Who's the fastest? We have the fastest two.
Chadwick.
Do you reckon Chadwick's faster than 33?
Yeah, he's the fastest. In the meantime, handoff towards Burns. Didn't see any daylight. He got brought down by Strands, rather.
We just had a message in. Ducks need to win by more than 20 points, otherwise it's Jets irrelevant of next week.
Thanks for the update. And at the moment, it's 12.
That's a comment from Spectator.
Collins over the head of Allen, incomplete. It looks as though the Ducks win, according to that, may not be enough.
Okay, so 1 second on it, he's going to kneel it out.
Listening in.
He's going for it. I don't think they got a timeout for this, but there's 1 second on the clock. So this is the last play.
Last play of the
night. They're literally going for it.
They're going for it on third down. This will be the last play. The Ducks will win it, irrespective of the score. Oh, and there was a big false start there. One of the players going in before he should. That was Strands. And the flag has gone up.
And that was a cheeky move. Changing the count. Great play. Boys gone second. Boys need to hold their water. But, seeing what happened, unfortunately someone didn't pay attention to the count. They jumped, caused the defense to jump, and then now they have a problem. Though, it is possible, and just hypothetically, they're giving their receivers room, because the more room on the field, the better they're going to go. That is only 22 yards to score.
Well, and only 1 second to go.
And the stack in the left, 3 high.
Collins. He's throwing to the middle. Picked off by Fowler. We'll go for a final run. That'll do it.
And are they calling the game now? That's the next question.
Well, player's just shaking his hand with the ref. That's it. That is it. Well, the Jets tried everything late, but the Ducks, with that big second and third quarter, were able to hang on. They've won it by 12, but it won't be enough to overtake the Jets into fourth place. The Jets and the Ducks, they'll stay on 7 points on the ladder after this game. Won't be enough to overtake them. And as you said, irrespective of next week.
That's from Chris Parkhouse. He has reached out and said that. Now, I don't actually know what the whole outside situation is. they're versing the Wolves next week. Well, the Ducks are. So, what will happen? Is that the case, or is there a bunch of other dominoes that can fall into place? That's what I want to know.
Well, there could be a bunch of other dominoes. It's a completely complex situation heading into that fight for fourth place. But what about the Ducks tonight? Their offense, they used the sweeps in the second half, and I think that's what won them the game.
Honestly, I do see that the Ducks could have done better. The offense, well, it's not good enough. You know what? I think defense won. That touchdown by Middleton, that was probably the best thing to happen. That score essentially put them in the lead. Like 6 points. Jets had the opportunity to score like several times and could have actually won that. I'm definitive saying Jets could have won this game. But honestly, I think Scott should have been quarterback the entire time. The difference happened there. Scott being quarterback was massive. Different gameplay. Everything was better. And now the Ducks are lining up on the 50, or the middle of the ground, to shake hands with the Jets.
You talked about Collins being the starting quarterback. Of course, only 6 points were scored in that first quarter, with Honda being the quarterback. Another 2 were scored in the second. But you have a look, 6 of them were scored in that third quarter, but they were held scoreless in the last. So even though they were effective in gaining their yards and getting them back into territory, it's all about the scoreboard. They only scored 6 for the entire second half.
But how many yards did he gain, though?
They gained a lot. He gained a lot.
So there was a lot of momentum happening in that second half. And that was the big thing. There was a lot more momentum. That momentum, well, you know what? If he had more time, if he had that start, could have done a lot better.
If he had started, maybe they would have won it, like you said. But what a great game.
Oh,
So
yeah.
First up, with front row screens at Gridiron West, that is a good first up game. And especially in the build-up to the playoffs, it's going to be quite a tremendous climax to the season.
Now, I just really need to know, and I'm going to find out later, what is the breakdown of what needs to happen next week?
And it's a big round.
Does it have to be a high-scoring game for the Ducks? Does it have to be? I don't actually know.
Well, next week, with that in mind...
They are versing the Wolverines next week.
Wolverines, that is exactly right.
Who they
Round
drew last
15.
week.
They did draw.
And that should have been a win.
And that's here. That's right here at E&D Litter Stadium. And then Edinburgh Oval has 2 games on the 2 respective fields. The Curtin Saints and Swan City Titans do battle. And then the Perth Broncos play the Claremont Jets.
Well, that Saints and Titans game, that will be an easy game. They'll be putting second-string players in because they've secured their positions.
Yes.
They won't be risking anyone. And you know what? We'll see what happens because, like, honestly, they may also just decide to have a fight out, see who's the best.
What about the Jets and the Broncos?
So Broncos had a really strong defense. If all their FIFO players are back in, I would have... Honestly, Broncos could take the win. I'm not sure. Last week, I've seen what Broncos can do when they get the full man. If they have their full man, well, they could win. But if they don't, which is a problem because they have a lot of FIFO workers, they could lose. And honestly, I don't know what will happen with ladder. It may change the entire situation. It may not. I've noticed as well when Bluey is not playing, that may change everything.
Well, everything could change in round 15, but here tonight, it was the Vincent City Ducks winning 26-14 over the Claremont Jets here on Saturday night Gridiron West action. Byron, it's been a pleasure, mate. It was real fun, and I hope to call some Gridiron with you again.
Hope so too.
And for our viewers at home, hopefully you enjoyed all the great action at Gridiron West. The Vincent City Ducks victorious by 12 over the Claremont Jets, 26-14. Here at E&D Litter Stadium on Saturday night Gridiron action. On behalf of all the front row screens team, this is Paul Persick wishing you a safe Saturday night.